Drugs. See your girl in the park. System overload.
This is Sean O'Malley, and you're watching Full-Time MMA. Don't be a bagel-biting, bagel-bitch boy, bagel-bitch back.
What's going on, Full-Time family? It is August 6th, and it's time to start the show. It's Thursday, 2 days before UFC 228, but better than that, officially less than 30 days away from McGregor's UFC return against Khabib Nurmagomedov at UFC 229. You can see the countdown. We are officially under 30 days. Holy smokes, it is almost time. With that being said, what's going on to the Full-Time family? Everybody that's already here, Given Surname, Mr. Perfect 2005, Pinhead, Ever Loves Drugs, D. Brown, Joseph Reardon. What's going on, everybody? Israel A. Yadong in the building. What is going on, my brother? Yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about today, but there's 14, 15 people watching right now. If you haven't finished biting your bagels, do your boy a favor, hit the thumbs up button. We're going to start this show off because we got some breaking news. Actually, before I started the show, a couple of things just came out from Ariel Helwani. But the first one is Valentina Shevchenko's sister, Antonina Shevchenko, is going to be making her UFC debut at the Ultimate Fighter Season 28 finale. Also, even more recent than that, Ariel Helwani reported that Holly Holm underwent successful knee surgery yesterday in Albuquerque. According to her agent, she's hoping to return in 2019 versus Amanda Nunes. So we're going to talk about that, a few ways to go on that. We'll see where we go. But first, we're going to start the show off. Valentina Shevchenko is going to be fighting this weekend. Antonina Shevchenko is going to be fighting her UFC debut at the Ultimate Fighter Season 28, and hell, even Amanda Nunes got a super fight coming up. So it's Thursday, Throwback Thursday. Let's start off, if you haven't yet, check out UFC Yankovic. We're going to start the show off with the little MMA parody song, and it's the Amanda Nunes versus Valentina Shevchenko rematch. I made this song a long time ago. Just a little fun way to start the show. Let's run it. We'll talk about it afterward when we talk about the news. Let's go.
First things first, I'll be the newest champion after I beat Amanda Nunes. I want the crown, bitch, I'm the queen, you know I do this. I leave him lying on the ground because I do this. It's Valentina Shevchenko, quick to beat a bitch if you ain't no way to win, so come and get your face rolled. Thanks, ho. After I get the belt, I'm getting bankrolled. And Range Rovers ripping and whipping to getting makeovers. This the takeover. In our first fight, I really won. If you ain't think so, this time it will be done. Whoa there, hold on, go there, bitch, you about to piss me off. If you think you won that first fight, then you can kiss these balls. You fucked around and got a rematch with Amanda. Want a rematch with Amanda, then you're gonna need the handgun. Cause Amanda fuck around and beat a bitch till she can't stand up. You think Amanda's fucking around, then why don't you go ask Misha's fan club? Or how about Ronda Rousey? I break everyone around me's will. In the cage, I pound and kill, and when I'm walking out and still.
Yo, Full-Time family, what's going on? We'll start the show off with that one. We might end the show off with Tyron Woodley versus Darren Till. That's the main event, of course, of UFC 228. So if you haven't yet, if you enjoyed that, and there's plenty more, make sure you go check out UFC Yankovic and hit subscribe. We just hit 800. Our goal is 1,000. Once we get there, it's a motherfucking party. So hit the subscribe button on UFC Yankovic. Link is in the description. Bunch of stuff over there to check out, man. Whole lot of fun. But let's start the show talking about some MMA news. Mr. Perfect in the building, Joseph Reardon. He asked me and the Full-Time family, did you guys see Darren Till during the weight cut? Not looking good. Someone said he looks like death. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's a hard cut for him. And that's why let me check out we're going to talk about that for a second. Fuck it. That's not how we were going to start the show off, but that's how we're starting it off. I want to check out the odds, man, because I think I heard Tyron Woodley's officially an underdog, and if that's the case, motherfuckers, I'm crazy. Let's see. Oh my God, Tyron Woodley's an underdog. You guys are fucking crazy. I know you give Darren Till a chance, but you're gonna risk your motherfucking money on this dude? We don't even know how his weight cut's gonna go. He could have a bad weight cut that could affect his performance. He could fucking just not be ready for the champion. He hasn't. Hey, you know what? I fuck with Darren Till. I'm just saying. I think people are completely risking it. They're risky. Hey, you're putting your motherfucking money where your mouth is, I guess. But to just think that Darren Till has Tyron Woodley's number, I just don't even know where you. Even if you think Darren Till was gonna win, even if you think he can win, how can you be that confident off of his win over Wonderboy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay. All right, and you guys, like you said, he's not looking amazing in his weight cut, so it is what it is, man. I found a website. Your boy might start a fucking real money bankroll soon. We might take this from fake money to real money, because I found, you know how gambling's becoming like legal everywhere, like countrywide or whatever the fuck. So I think I found somewhere I might be able to start getting down, man. Your boy, y'all got me fucked up. Exist BMX said, I would love if Shevchenko's corner team joined in on her victory dance. Like they had a choreographed joint, like if she won. That would be funny. Or even if after Antonina Shevchenko won, if Valentina came in there and she was so excited she just hit the dance anyway. Just even, you know what I'm saying? Even without Antonina. You got 19 watching 13 likes. Stop biting your fucking bagel, said MMA Addict. Hit that thumbs up button. Now we got 14. What's going on, full-time family? It's going to be a battle. If Till misses weight, he should just move up to 185. Shoot, if he wins or loses, he's talked about moving up to 185. He said even if he wins the belt and defends it and goes up to middleweight, you know, to potentially fight for another belt, he's willing to earn his stripes in middleweight, or he said he wants to. Even if he wins the belt, when he goes up, he wants to fight a fight. And that's perfect for me, because that would open up. We only need one fight. You only got to earn one stripe. You're already the champion at welterweight. You're good. But just one fight, I'm cool with. You know why? Because I want to see Darren Till versus Israel Adesanya. So boom, Darren Till beat Tyron Woodley, beat Kobe Covington, go up, fight Adesanya, and then fight Gastelum or Whitaker or whoever's got the belt at that point. It's a motherfucking party, full-time family. Bradley Niwamura says Till versus Adesanya. Let's talk about it. That's what I'm saying. Darren Till versus Israel Adesanya. That's a fight that I've been wanting to see for a while now. I've been talking about that. Yeah, I really would love to see that fight regardless. I mean, Israel Adesanya is not the biggest middleweight. He's got great takedown defense, but of course he's more of a stand-up fighter. Darren Till, same thing, but he's a big welterweight. So they're actually a lot closer in size than you might think. They might fuck around and walk around close to the same. Israel Adesanya came in as low as like 182 or 183 at one of his weight cuts, and I was like, damn, okay, that clearly he makes that with ease. Darren Till, you know what I'm saying? He could be at middleweight sooner rather than later, so that fight would be fucking amazing. Of course, Darren Till, more of a stand-up fighter as well, so that'd be a exciting fight. I don't think that would be a chess match as much of, these guys coming in and banging it and just putting on a great show. So I would love to see Adesanya versus Darren Till. That would be fucking an amazing matchup. And the weights are close, so we might see that in the future. Everloves Drug says, can you imagine a champion missing weight? Shit. No. Maybe an interim champ. I mean, we were close with Yoel Romero, but yeah, we've had a couple interim title fights where the people almost miss weight, but a champion missing weight, yeah, that wouldn't, like, you have to be professional, you think, to get to the title shot. Not in this day and age, shit. I mean, if Darren Till beats Tyron Woodley, he might miss weight. Who knows? If he's having a hard, you know what I'm saying? At least he's having a better time this time than last time as far as cutting weight, but it's still not easy for him. So shit, I mean, in the day and age of, since Darren Till has this title shot, that might be something you could imagine, honestly. I mean, I couldn't imagine it unless Darren Till beats Tyron Woodley, and then what? Maybe he doesn't have a great weight cut. Maybe an emergency comes up when he goes to fight Covington or Usman, and champion misses weight. He'd be a big dude, big champion. Exist BMX says Izzy would slow cook Till, then roast him in the second. Oh, now we're talking. I hear you, Exist BMX. I hear you. Kenshiro Rio MMA says Darren Till, the smallest 215 heavyweight fighting in the welterweights. Yo, you for real probably walks around heavyweight, like right above that light heavyweight limit, cutting down. That's not a good look. And, especially in the day and age where we're talking about fighters and the health risk of cutting weight and shit like that. Darren Till, yeah, I don't see him being a welterweight too much longer. And recently he's kind of changed his tune-up. He talked about, fighting everybody and clearing out the welterweight division. But leading up to this fight, he says something like, I'm not going to be here forever. Like 1 or 2 more, then I'm up there anyway. So, yeah, this weight cut, it doesn't seem like it's fun. And he's just getting older and bigger. He's only like 25 fucking years old. He's still very young. Cam Murphy in the building. What's going on? What up, sister? She said, what up, full time? Mr. Perfect 2005 said, you're right, Exist. Uh-oh, we got a couple of people for Adesanya. I know there's definitely, I've seen some comments, people saying they think Darren Till get the best of him. So That'd definitely be a great fight. I don't even know who I would pick at this point. It's a must watch. So with that being said, let's talk about Coach Javier Mendez breaking down Luke Rockhold versus the Chris Weidman rematch. Now, I've seen this announced on a couple websites, but not officially announced by the UFC. I haven't seen it on like ESPN or MMA Fighting, which are two of the more official. Whenever they announce it, it's usually official by the time they announce it. Or a lot of the times, even the rumors or the reports that they announce. But it is on some. It is on some websites that it's finalized. Even I've seen the headline that it's finalized for UFC 230. But it's not official. Either way, it's going to be a great fight if it does happen. And we have saw Luke Rockhold back in training. I mean, recently he was training with Khabib. Of course, Khabib has a fight coming up, but so could Luke Rockhold at Madison Square Garden. But with that being said, Luke Rockhold's coach is breaking down the potential fight, and he says it's a great matchup. It's a fight that was good the first time out. I think Chris was somewhat surprised by Luke. I'm not sure, but I think we were surprised by Luke, so he's going to come out a better version of himself, And Luke himself, reinventing himself all the time, and he has a lot more confidence going into this. We'll see what happens, but to me, it's always one of those situations where whoever screws up first, the other ones, they're both such great fighters. He said that one's going to take it and ride it to the end. My only thought process on this is that we have more options than Chris does, so the margin of error is less for us. For Chris, there's more margin of error on his part. We have less to be concerned as far as screwing up. So on that edge, I'll give it to us. So my favorite in Luke, absolutely. What will happen, who knows? But I favor Luke 100%. I mean, of course, did win the first fight. That's how he won the belt, beat Chris Weidman. And the rematch, it's not an immediate rematch, so you can't really count on the exact same result, honestly. Chris Weidman has fought, since then. He went on a little bit of a losing streak against some of the top guys, but had a great win against Kelvin Gastelum. But he also lost the first fight. So, I mean, I kind of agree with Coach Javier Mendez as far as I might favor Luke, but anything could happen, Luke also, most recently, was knocked out against Yoel Romero. He's talked about moving up. So, I mean, it's a different time, so it could be a different result. Or, who knows, Luke Rockhold could still come out and get the W. I mean, probably still be the favorite, but I wouldn't count Chris Weidman all the way out, especially in Madison Square Garden. Kenshiro MMA says, don't let Luke Rockhold's pretty face fool you. The dude, a legit grappler, BJJ guy. His only 4 losses was TKO because those 4 guys didn't respect Luke's kickboxing, which Luke took up in his 20s. Yeah, man, for sure his grappling. We even saw some of that in the David Branch fight. I mean, he weathered the storm a little bit early, and after that his grappling came into play, and he really just took over and started to dominate that fight. And he also beat Weidman in the first one. I mean, so his grappling, maybe if you're not a hardcore fan, you sleep on Luke Rockhold's grappling, but yeah, he's definitely a great grappler, BJJ, and even his wrestling is training out of AKA. I'm sure he's got great wrestling training with fucking DC, Khabib, and Cain Velasquez all the damn time. So yeah, his wrestling, his jiu-jitsu, and even he's got solid kickboxing, like you pointed out. HSBMX says, God damn, I like watching Till's fights. Gotta love beautiful elbows. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, that's why I was all over the Till train, all the way up until the Wonder Boy fight. That's just when I pulled back a little bit, but I watched all of his fights before his Cowboy fight, and I was like, this kid is a fucking killer. Like, Andy's this is going to be a great fight this weekend. But yeah, man, as far as Rockhold versus Weidman 2, we'll see if it actually gets officially announced by the UFC. Who knows? Something could come up, of course. I mean, Weidman, I think, is coming off of an injury, and Rockhold, he's talked about not too long ago, making sure that the business was right for this fight. He's like, I can make more money outside the UFC than just taking a fight for whatever, they're offering now. So we got to get this business right, and then I'm down to fight whatever's going on. Madison Square Garden, I'd love it, but so, this fight can happen. We'll see. We'll see if it comes to fruition, but not ready to officially say it's announced. It's not officially announced, so we'll see. Now, with that being said, we got some news coming up, though. Recently announced by Ariel Helwani today at 1:37 p.m. on the Twitters. As soon as I saw this, I sent Coach an email like, yo, Coach, Antonina Shevchenko Her UFC debut versus Ashlee Evans-Smith is final. I had to let him know. But Ariel Helwani reported it. Shevchenko's fighting this weekend. But what about her sister, Antonina Shevchenko? According to multiple sources, Antonina versus Ashlee Evans-Smith has been booked for the Ultimate Fighter finale on 11/30 in Las Vegas. That will be Antonina's official UFC debut. She beat Jamie Nibiera on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. 4th round KO TKO, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 3rd round, but she got the contract, and now she's going to be making her debut. And this is not going to be an easy fight for Antonina Shevchenko by any means, you know what I'm saying? Just because she's Valentina's sister is definitely not going to get any easy fights. She's also coming into the flyweight division that her sister's likely going to be the champion of, you know, coming into after this weekend. She's taking on Nicco Montaño. Of course, Valentina Shevchenko, a heavy favorite, likely to win that fight. Question is how, question is when. But a lot of people, of course, expect Valentina to become the flyweight champion and probably reign for a while after beating Nicco Montaño. And so with that being said, there's also a conversation to be had. What's really the potential for Antonina in this flyweight division? Of course, because I don't see anybody dethroning Valentina anytime soon. So unless maybe once Antonina, you know, climbs the rankings and gets to the number 3 or number 2 ranked spot, maybe Valentina moves back up to try and finally get that win, official win over Amanda Nunes. Maybe she does that just to kind of let her sister get a title fight, but I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows though? But also, that's just another topic for another day, really. Valentina, they're fighting in the same division. Of course, an even crazier, but likely very unrealistic possibility, like they get in some sort of fucking beef and we see Antonina versus Valentina. That would be crazy. Like, I know we'd all like to see it, but I'm sure that would never happen. You know what I'm saying? Even teammates don't fight each other, let alone damn sisters. So I know that sounds somewhat crazy, but hey, they're in the same division. That's all I'm saying. And Antonina's a beast. She could very well climb up to that top spot, and Valentina's going to be reigning. So, you know what I'm saying? Maybe for the money. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure they wouldn't even do it for the money. Valentina's, they're not out here starving. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, Antonina's going to be taking on Ashlee Evans-Smith. And if you watched Antonina Shevchenko's Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series performance, she did get taken down at one point, and when she was on the ground, one of the commentators, maybe they overdid it a little bit, but they're pointing out how she wasn't doing some of the basic, you know, as far as being on the ground, she wasn't showing some of the basic signs of, like, getting out of the position. Like, you know, they were like, you know, kind of how, like, Joe Rogan was pointing out against Khabib, like, man, his stand-up, I'm just like, I don't know, he can't, you got to be careful doing that. And he was like, that's not, you know, they were just super critical of Antonina Shevchenko's ground game. And so that kind of, if you were watching that fight as a more of a casual fan that doesn't know the ins and the outs or the history of Antonina Shevchenko, you might be like, oh, yeah, she's going to have to work on her ground game. But also, just coming over from Muay Thai, you might have thought that already. And so she's taking time, and I'm sure she's been working on her ground game, her takedown defense, and even her defensive jiu-jitsu to be able to get back off of her back, because she didn't take a fight immediately after she won the contract. She's taking time, so I'm sure that's something she's going to be working on. And someone that's going to really be able to test that is going to be Ashlee Evans-Smith. As she's shown, she's definitely able to take down opponents, even in the bantamweight division. Now, she looked good in her flyweight debut against Bec Rawlings, who's now the queen of bare knuckle. But before, at 135 pounds, of course, she was a little undersized because the 125-pound division wasn't there yet. But she had a loss to top contender now, Caitlin Vieira, and Sarah Moras. But before that, at bantamweight, she had a takedown on Marion Renault, 2 takedowns on Veronica Macedo, and even a takedown against Raquel Pennington, who, of course, is likely bigger than her since her natural weight class is flyweight. And so she can definitely take you down. She's shown that. And she's got experience against top bantamweights and even looked good at flyweight. She's got legit UFC experience. This is definitely no easy fight. She ain't got no damn 500 record. She's 6-3, so Antonina Shevchenko is definitely not getting any easy fights. It's going to be a great fight on the Ultimate Fighter Season 28 finale. And, of course, that Episode 2 just came out recently of that show. And it's got the men's heavyweights and the female featherweights on the show. So I'm going to be watching that probably later today, that Episode 2. I already watched Episode 1. But, yeah, man. Antonina Shevchenko versus Ashlee Evans-Smith is finalized. Multiple sources from Ariel Helwani. See what the full-time family's talking about. Kenshiro Ryu says Luke Rockhold in his early 20s won 3 BJJ World tournaments, winning 1 silver and 2 golds in purple and brown belts World divisions. Yeah, Luke Rockhold, he ain't fucking around, man. He's underrated, and I think some of that's probably because he's a damn model. I'm like, oh, he's a fucking model. He sucks. He's not a real fighter. You got Luke Rockhold fucked up. Cam Murphy said, I don't know. I don't think she's anywhere near as good as Val. Probably not in MMA, you know. And also, you know, this is the thing. She's like 33 years old, you know, so it's she's experienced in Muay Thai. She's definitely got some experience. That's why even though she's 6-0, she's definitely might be a little underrated still. But with that being said, yeah, Valentina Shevchenko, she's just fought in MMA longer, you know what I'm saying? I don't think she's Valentina, but at the same, her stand-up is devastating. Like, I'm talking about KO, TKOs. That's the type of shit she's gonna, and she's got 4 decision wins, but 1, 2, 3 of those MMA fights came way back in 2005. But either way, she's got some lethal stand-up. So, and she's got a lot of Muay Thai experience. So I think she can still make a splash in this flyweight division, but I don't know if she's going to be Valentina, and somebody's going to test her. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much. I mean, you would have to listen to like a jiu-jitsu expert or someone break it down, her performance on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. But from the way it was sounding, as me, a fan listening to the show, and also a pretty hardcore fan, they sounded like it was Paul Felder, I believe, who's also a pro fighter, who was commentating the Contender Series, and he was talking about the performance. And who knows, maybe she won't be able to fix all of the holes in her ground game to even get to the top of the division, but she's gonna definitely be I think a top 10, maybe even top 5 fighter in this division. And as long she don't really have to work on her striking yet. Just now that she's officially transitioned into MMA and she's in the UFC, I think just grappling, heavy camps, you know what I'm saying, and even training, just gotta grind out that. You know she's gonna have the fucking dedication, and you know she's gonna be willing to work on it, being the sister of Valentina Shevchenko and also her success in Muay Thai. It's not like she's not gonna dedicate her time to her craft. She's definitely gonna do that. So just work on her just ground game. I'm sure that's what she's probably been doing ever since that win on the Contender Series. Ground game, ground game, ground game. And so we'll see how much she can improve that and potentially be able to get to the top of the division. But it's definitely going to be tested. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of easy fights with a lot of these girls moving from 135 down. I mean, shoot, the UFC women's flyweight division, it's going to be after, like, there's a lot of girls from the Tough House that, yeah, maybe they're not the top caliber fighters, but a lot of these girls that have moved down and that are now fighting at their natural weight class, these girls there's some good fighters in this women's flyweight division. And some of them, like, of course, Valentina, but not even just her. Let's see, women's flyweight, you got Sarge Eubanks. She almost won the show. She's not as experienced, but I mean, just Caitlin Chukagian, Alexis Davis, Liz Carmouche, Jessica Ai. I mean, a lot of these girls are very talented, and a lot of them are having even a little bit of a rebirth at this division. I mean, you can point to Joanne Calderwood's win recently, but I wouldn't classify her as like one of the tops of the girls that I just named. But still, and she was also kind of getting clipped up before she got that triangle armbar in her fight. But either way, there's a lot of girls that have had that success here, including Jessica Rose Clark. She lost to Jessica Ai, but I think she's now 2-1 or 3-1 in the division. But yeah, there's some tough girls in this division that definitely will be tough test for Antonina Shevchenko. So we'll see how that fight goes. I know I'll definitely be watching it, and a lot of people probably will. Also, the TUF 28 finale, and it's probably going to be like the night before, maybe. You know, some of the times the TUF finale, they'll have 2 fight cards on that weekend. It'll be like TUF 28 finale on Friday, pay-per-view on Saturday. It might be like a stacked fight weekend. They definitely do that on International Fight Week, but they might do that toward the end of the year too. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But yeah, as far as Holly Holm, she had successful knee surgery yesterday, and honestly, man, fuck it. I don't care. I'm shadow banned anyway. I don't care what nobody says, man. A lot of these bigger named fighters, like, it's just mighty. You know what I'm saying? It's mighty convenient. Like, Amanda Nunes is fighting Cyborg. Holly Holm was wanting to fight Amanda Nunes. She called her out after the fight. You know, a lot of people thought if she beat Megan Anderson, she might be fighting Cyborg again. Cyborg was like, I think, you know, the UFC was going to have the winner of that fight me. But nope, Holly Holm got on the mic and she was like, you know, when I lost my bantamweight belt, it was like losing a pet. I really want to get it back. And so she wants to fight Amanda Nunes. But Amanda Nunes is booked in a fight with Cyborg. And so what's Holly Holm going to do in the meantime? She's going to fight Caitlin Vieira. I know a lot of Caitlin Vieira would love that fight. But nope, Holly Holm actually has knee surgery. And so she's going to be out. I don't know if it's convenient or not. Maybe she beats Caitlin Vieira, maybe she doesn't. But now she doesn't. You know what I'm saying? She can wait for Amanda Nunes. But, of course, it's because of a knee surgery, and you don't question anybody's injuries. I'm sure she did, but I don't know if it was one of those mandatory knee surgeries. Like, you know what I'm saying? She probably could have fought if there was a fight that had to happen. Maybe even if it was an interim title fight, she could have possibly fought, but you know, it's probably like one of those ones, kind of like where Rose was saying, like, you know, I don't really feel like there's a clear contender, so it's a good time to heal up. Maybe it should. That's what I'll say. I think it's a good time to heal up and heal up some of those injuries while we wait on that title fight. So I think it's one of those things. You know, it's not like Holly Holm's starving. It's not like she needs to fight for money like a Jessica Andrade or somebody, maybe even like a Caitlin Vieira. You know, so she can heal up, take the time, chill a little bit, and whenever Amanda Nunes is ready, Holly Holm's always going to be in, you know what I'm saying? Even coming off of the surgery, she'll be in line to get that title shot unless Caitlin Vieira makes enough of a, you know, like beats two girls in the meantime, in between time. Caitlin Vieira is going to have to make a huge statement to try and get this fight from Holly Holm, even if Holly Holm chills until Amanda Nunes, you know what I'm saying, is back at bantamweight. So either way, it's official. She's looking to return in 2019 versus Amanda Nunes. And what does that mean for the other girls in the division? Maybe a little bit of a log jam a little bit. Caitlin Vieira kind of talked about forgetting the title shot recently, but maybe that won't happen sooner rather than later. She was supposed to be fighting Tanya Evinger. I believe she got injured, so now she's not fighting Tanya Evinger. So she's also injured right now. So, you know, looks like a couple injuries for a couple of the top bantamweights while Amanda Nunes is out. I mean, what are they going to do anyway? Just beat up the other girls? You know what I'm saying? Like, they could if they weren't injured, but it's a good time to heal up. You know, the division, you ain't going to be getting a title fight. Even if you beat fucking, let's say you beat Tanya Evinger, you're not guaranteed the next title fight. Even if you beat another girl after that, who's another top contender. We got the rankings up right here. Women's bantamweight. Even if Juliana Pena returns and you beat her, you still got to wait on to see what happens with Holly Holm and all, you know what I'm saying? So good time to heal up from injuries and make sure you're 100% whenever it's time to fuck around and get that title shot. So, hey, it is what it is. Got a funny little story here. Michael Bisping, Dominick Cruz discuss nearly coming to blows at a bar. But first, let's see what the full-time family's talking about. Stamina MC in the building. They better put Evinger in there with Holm. Fuck Holly and yet another title fight. Well, now Holly Holm is injured, and she's looking for that Nunes title fight in 2019. And, yeah, you know, even if it's maybe she, with Vieira injured now, you know what I'm saying, maybe she returns around the same time as Vieira, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they come back and fight. But if Amanda Nunes is ready to fight early 2019 and defend at bantamweight, and Holly Holm comes back from injury, she's probably going to get that title shot. Unless Vieira's back first, and yeah, so we'll see how it happens. But I agree with you, Stamina. Holly Holm in another title fight, I mean, let's go. Yeah, I mean, but I can't lie. I get it that she doesn't maybe deserve all these title fights. If you whatever you want to, you know, the word deserve, I don't even know what that really means at this point. I mean, she's a great fighter. She's a former champion. She's been fighting 5-round fights. But she's been losing a lot of them, right? I mean, the GDR one was close, though, split. She lasted 5. She's been putting up impressive performances, lasted 5 rounds with Cyborg, but she's been losing. I get it. But I'm not going to lie. I want to see Amanda Nunes versus Holly Holm. That's a fight that I think would put I don't know if it's closure or what. I think it would. It would just cement Amanda Nunes as the best bantamweight of all time. I think it would. She's got the win over Miesha Tate. She's got the win over Ronda Rousey. She's got the win over Valentina Shevchenko. And a win over Holly Holm would really be like, you know what I'm saying, the final of the 4 horsewomen or something. Of course, Juliana Pena is around there too, but she lost to Valentina, you know what I'm saying? So that'd be a fresh matchup we'd probably like to see. But I would like to see Amanda Nunes versus Holly Holm. But yeah, maybe Holly Holm needs to win a fight before that. Not going to lie, though, I would like to see that fight. Seems they're all fucking injured. I know, right? And I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of, sometimes they're convenient injuries. Sometimes I don't know. And what I mean by that is I don't know if, they're probably medically cleared to fight, but it's like you could get surgery or you probably could fight. But if you don't have to fight, why not just get the surgery and get to 100%? And, but yeah, a lot of these, I don't know if they're all, a lot of people be getting injured conveniently sometime, but hey, training's hard. This is a hard sport. You know what I'm saying? A lot of different disciplines you're training and injuries do happen. Mr. Perfect 2005 said, Suhat Bech Kohea with that John Jones head kick though. Man, that was crazy moment in the fight, because I remember before that the fight was, it was real like slow. But Bech Kohea, I think she started talking a little shit, waved Holly Young like, "What's up? Come on!" and then gag just right after you waved her on. What a fucking kick. It was like, and then she hit it with that like bowling punch. Bam! That shit was crazy. Fuck it, for sure. But yeah, let's get into this funny story. Michael Bisping and Dominick Cruz. I mean, them going to a bar already. Liquor involved. They're already two of the best trash talkers in the sport. Fuck what anybody's talking about. Of course, there's other guys you mentioned, Chael Sonnen and Conor McGregor. But Dominick Cruz, for my money, is one of the best. Like, he's right up there at the top. Bisping, of course, he's great as well. But also Dominick Cruz, man, little contentious, even on the sports desk, little feisty. You've challenged Joe Rogan a little bit, challenged Bisping, you challenged Kieran Bryant. Like, he definitely tries to get his point across and don't back down, even in a little debate. So you could imagine, add alcohol in Michael Bisping's mouth to the situation, might almost get to it. But listen to this because it's funny, and just imagine in Dominick Cruz, like envision Dominick Cruz listening to the story. You just know his demeanor and shit. So this is what Bisping had to say. I've worked with Dominick for a long time over at Fox, now with the UFC as well. Good dude, great guy. But me and Dominick have this weird love-hate relationship. There's been several times where me and Dominick, after we've worked at Fox, we've gone for a couple of drinks together. He's legit, and you've got to love him for this. He legit thinks he can kick my ass. Every time we get into a slight difference, because Dominick's very opinionated, we often differ on opinions, and he wants to get physical. He wants to throw down. And you can even think of DC. He's another guy that Dominick Cruz kind of, he gets contentious with. But Michael Bisping continues. He says, he does this all the time. We were once out in Hollywood. I can't even remember. He had many shots of tequila, as did I, and something happened. He was like, "You want to punch me right now, don't you? You want to punch me?" And it was like a scene in Step Brothers, and I'm like, "No." He says, "Go on, motherfucker, swing a shot. By the time you swing on me, I'll hit you in the face 6-7 times. You won't be able to touch me." I'm like, "What are you talking about, Dominick? I'm not going to punch you." And then my older brother, who had just got off a plane from England, who was very inebriated due to the tequila in the flight, he's like, "Whoa, stop, guys. Don't fight. It's just an average night out with me and Dominick." Now that is a motherfucking reality show. Dominick Cruz and Bisping going out on the town. We were talking about like a UFC dating reality show and shit. This is a reality show. Get a camera behind these guys, a vlog, something, going out after UFC tonight, after the events. I'm in every fucking time. I don't even watch reality shows like that, but I'm watching that one. and you could just like kind of imagine that. But yeah, Dominick Cruz, man, very opinionated and don't back down even in a conversation. That's why he's one of the bantamweight goats. You know what I'm saying? Former kingpin. And he's looking to return and potentially get that title back. Recently, Dominick Cruz said that he wants to come back and fight TJ Dillashaw. Made a great case for it on Ariel Helwani's MMA show. Made a great case for coming back and fighting for the title. I'm the biggest money fight. I'm the champion. I'm the legacy fight. If you want to prove you're the best bantamweight of all time, you got to beat me. And if you want the biggest money fight, you got to fight me. So Dominick Cruz definitely has a case, and the only reason TJ would turn that down if he wanted to hold on to the grudge of like, no, you made me fight, so I'm gonna make you fight. Or if he had a bigger opportunity in like a champ fight versus Henry Cejudo, which actually seems to be kind of in the works. So Dominick Cruz, though, if TJ fights at bantamweight, I think Dominick Cruz would get the fight. But yeah, man, fun little story there between Dominick Cruz and Michael Bisping. I just reading that story, I just imagined it fucking hilarious. It sounds like some Step Brothers. They could even be in like a movie, like Step Brothers UFC, Dominick Cruz and Michael Bisping. Like, by the time you swing on me, I hit you in the face 6-7 times. Yo, that's fucking hilarious, dog. But yeah, man. Charismatic Lemon says, love Dom, but I think his best days are over. I mean, that's how you would think if you watched him in that Dominick Cruz fight. But he does got the win over TJ, but he's now he already had the leg injuries, right? Now he's coming off of a damn broken arm. Like, damn, dog. You know what I'm saying? And maybe they are, but still, he definitely has room for one or two more fights. At least maybe even paydays, even if he might lose them both. Who knows? He might fucking lose to TJ Dillashaw in the rematch. And then, does TJ want the trilogy? Maybe not. He probably don't need it at that point. Dominick Cruz, he would probably make Dominick Cruz earn the trilogy. Like, listen, I already beat you in the rematch, most recently, so I'm the GOAT as of right now. Now I want to see you go work for a rematch. But they would technically be 1-1, and maybe TJ Dillashaw looks at Dominick Cruz like easy money after that, and says, you know what? I want to fight Dominick Cruz in a trilogy fight. Even he might do that, and that's two big paydays for Dom. So even if his best days are behind him, I definitely don't think he's done. You know what I'm saying? That weird guy says, haha, sell the idea for some dough and cheese. Yo, they need to do it. Mr. Perfect 2005 says, this is the time to run Cruz versus Garbrandt back. Yep, well, and that's what we're going to talk about too. I might as well talk about it now since we're talking about Dominick Cruz. Pull it up here. Cody Garbrandt has went radio silent. He went into retreat after a second loss to find himself. One of those, I'll say, see, this is another one of those convenient ones, right? For when you're not starving, this goes for anybody, not even just the biggest stars of the sport, but of course they're not starving, but even like an Ally Quinta. You can go into a retreat, you can heal up your injuries, you can do all that shit because you don't have to immediately get back in there. So Cody Garbrandt now losing those two fights to Dominick Cruz, he's not going to be getting an immediate title shot again. He's probably going to have to beat some contenders. So, if you're Cody Garbrandt, do you want to fight the fucking contenders right now? Like Marlon Moraes and fucking John Dott, all of these dudes. You got Marlon Moraes, Rafael dos Anjos, all of these dudes trying to make their case for the next title shot. Aljamain Sterling calling out Dominick Cruz. Dominick Cruz trying to come back, and given the fact that even if, let's say, Cody Garbrandt fought Marlon Moraes, even if he beat him, not guaranteed a title shot. Even if he beat Rafael dos Anjos, not guaranteed a title shot. And so it's a good time to take some time off. You know what I'm saying? Because unless you just want to get in there and fight some killers, but that's probably not the best. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of risky. But imagine this: you take some time off. Dominick Cruz gets a title shot. He's already beat TJ once. What if Dominick Cruz beats TJ? Well, now I'm Cody. Hey, I'm reactivating my social media. What up, Dom? Already whooped your ass once. You're trying to get it back. Boom, boom, boom. And so you kind of you don't have to really fight Marlon Moraes or these other dudes because, you know, now Dom's back and maybe he wants the biggest fight. What's the biggest money fight? It's going to be the Cody Garbrandt rematch. And so Cody Garbrandt can kind of just wait until something happens. You know what I'm saying? And so right now, that could be what's going on, but he's finding himself. He's lost. And, you know, if you remember leading into the fight, he was talking about how he didn't get in this to just be a contender. It's bigger than that. He said he learned a lot in the first fight. God put you through these kinds of things to grow as a human and grow as a fighter. I felt grateful for the life experience and the things that I had from the November fight in Madison Square Garden. Recently, Brett Okamoto tweeted, Cody Garbrandt's deactivated all of his social media accounts for now. Told me he wanted to detach and that he's getting back in the zone. And by in the zone, it kind of sounds like he's getting out of the zone. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's getting out of the fire of fighting Marlon, these hungry fucking dudes that want title shots, and they would love to fight Cody Garbrandt right now. But Cody Garbrandt's got to find himself. You know what I'm saying? But before the fight, he was talking about how it means everything for him to reclaim his bantamweight title. He didn't get in the sport to just be a fighter, an average fighter. He got in this sport to be the best in the world. So he's not interested in just, you know, getting here and throwing down with dudes just to fight. He wants to be the fucking champion. And you know what I'm saying? So he's off of social media for now. We'll see when he comes back. I've got a feeling as soon as Dominick Cruz, if Dominick Cruz fought TJ, as soon as he won the title, I have a feeling Cody Garbrandt would be reactivating his social media. Full-time talk about Zabit wanting Chad Mendez. I haven't heard about that yet. I would look into that toward the end of the show, though, because I haven't heard about that yet. General Africa in the building. What's going on, brother? Looking forward to the Come Get This Work Mobcast later. I don't know what time you guys start, but I know it's Thursday, and I am subscribed, so I'll be checking that out. Make sure you guys check that out, too. live panel, you know what I'm saying? People just getting their thoughts off. Anybody can join, you know what I'm saying? Just some fun MMA talk. Ever Loves Drugs says, oh yeah, I just read that. Ashish Pejvar says TJ versus Henry and DJ versus Cody on the same card must happen. TJ versus Henry, DJ versus Cody. Yeah, well, yeah, that'd be maybe, and that's another thing Cody could do. Maybe he could come back down. You know, he's a smaller bantamweight, don't cut a lot of weight. Maybe he comes back at flyweight. That's a fresh start for him, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Perfect 2005 said Al Zabit versus Mendez would be a good one. That would be, man. That definitely would. And that'd be a good stepping stone for Zabit as far as he's being looked at. And, it almost seems like hype, but the people that have co-signed him, of course, they're his teammates, but they don't sound like they're fucking around. When Frankie Edgar and Eddie Alvarez and Marlon Moraes come out and they talk about training with Zabit, they talk about how he outworks all of them and beats their ass in the gym. And you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not just fucking all lying. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the other people, if you watch them fight, he looked super impressive. I mean, you can see it for yourself when he fought Kyle Bochniak. He was winning that fight. It was a great fight. And he's even fought through fucking injuries and still looked amazing in his fights. But he hasn't been able to get a lot of people to accept the fight with him, maybe because they don't want to lose their rank. But he finally was going to get that opponent in Yair, and he that was personal as well. I don't know what Yair did. He must have liked Zabit's girl's photos. He did something. He did something to piss Zabit off, because Zabit wants all the smoke with Yair Rodriguez. He'd been waiting. He waited on him outside the Performance Institute. Yair never showed up. Waited on the fight with him, like, let's go, motherfucker. And the Dana White, the UFC wanted the fight. There was going to happen at UFC 227. You remember the whole fake news cut from the UFC, real news. Now it's happening. UFC 228, and damn, injury. Yair's out again. So either way, Zabit also said, after I fight at UFC 228, after I get an opponent, I'm still coming for you. I still want Yair at the end of the year. So, according to you guys, he said recently that he wants Chad Mendez. That'd be a good fight. That'd be a great way to not only beat one of the best featherweights, it would be a good legacy fight in a sense, because Chad Mendez is a big name, former title challenger, fought a lot of the best guys in the featherweight division. So that'd be a big win for you, but also it'd be a way to get up in the rankings if you can win that fight. But it'd be a tough test. So that'd be a fucking great fight. Chad Mendez, one of the best wrestlers, coming off of that first round knockout, I believe, of Miles Jury back at UFC Boise. Yeah, that'd be a good fight, man. Zabit versus Mendez. But I wonder if he would take that fight instead of a fight with Yair, because he really wants Yair's head. He wants Yair's head. So maybe that can happen after. Maybe he'll take it before. Maybe he gives up on the Yair fight. Like, all right, this dude clearly don't want any fucking smoke. And it's funny because, I don't know, does it almost feel to you guys like it's almost like a bully situation? Like, I want Yair. Like, and I say that because of the performance Yair's coming off of. Like, he just got fucked up by your teammate. It ain't like he beat your teammate and you're trying to get revenge for your teammate. Your teammate just whooped Yair's ass, made him look different. You know what I'm saying? Like, completely killed his hype, and now here you come, you're his teammate, and you're like, I want to whoop his ass too. Like, you know what I'm saying? It almost, and it's a fight we think Zabit's going to win. He's probably going to be a big favorite. So it's like this big favorite, this highly touted Zabit's calling out this dude Yair, who kind of just got exposed. I mean, it'd be a fun style matchup. Human helicopters, a lot of crazy ninja shit. But we all pick Zabit to win, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, really wants that fight with what seems to be, I don't want to call Yair a weaker opponent. I don't mean weak in the wrong way, but what I'm saying, a favorable matchup. Usually you don't see guys like, oh, I want that guy. I can probably beat him, especially considering his teammate Frankie Edgar just fucked that guy up. So, interesting. Yair's ducking his taco, says Charismatic Lemon. Yes, sir, that's what it seems like. But, injuries happen in this sport. But, like I said, that's another one. One of those convenient injuries. You can't question injuries, but sometimes it's like, yeah, I'm going to be injured until it's perfect time for me to come back and get a title fight. Yeah, I'm going to be injured until, Yair's got a fight booked. You know what I'm saying? Some of those convenient injuries are a little crazy sometimes. Stamina MC says Covington deserves violent head trauma with bats and hammers. That's all. God, chill. Damn, does he? Holy smokes, Stamina MC with the motherfucking public execution call. Damn, chill. That's crazy. Damn, even if it's just an act, I don't know. I don't think it's all an act, but what I'm saying is, even if he's just trying to rile people up, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Damn, I ain't never felt like that. But hey, I know you are not the biggest fan of Colby Covington. Mr. Perfect 2005 says, kind of like when Conor called out that German dude. Weezen 336 responding to Stamina. But yeah, man, so other than that, moving on though, Rafael dos Anjos, of course, he got to the top of the welterweight division, former lightweight champion, fought Colby Covington recently, but he doesn't agree with Darren Till getting the title shot. I mean, it's not like he would be getting it because he lost to Colby, but he's still predicting UFC 228, and I believe he's also giving his prediction for UFC 229, if I'm not mistaken, but he's picking Woodley to win. He said, I don't agree with that, but he got his chance. Here's what I think. If Till does not make weight and the fight happens, I think he'll have a little advantage over Tyron, but I think that weight cut will be brutal on him. He's a big boy. I met him. He's a big guy, and if he makes weight, I give the fight to Tyron. If he does make 170, I think Tyron has a better chance, a lot more experience. Yo, if I was in Vegas, the minute Darren Till made weight, I would go put a bunch of fucking money on Tyron Woodley. Like, all right, you made weight, but guess what? You're drained, and you're fighting a fucking monster. Ding, 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 ding. Tyron Woodley's an underdog, and this motherfucker's over here killing himself. Y'all are crazy. Put big full-time up in Vegas. Y'all, we're going to all get rich full-time, family. Let's go. But, yeah, he continued. He said, it's an MMA fight. Tyron's an intelligent fighter. He's going to find everything he needs to do when the fight starts. I think there could be a way Darren Till, if you strike with him, you're going to put him in his comfort zone. But I think Tyron has a lot more main events, 5-round fights, and I think that's going to count to his advantage. That's another thing. Yeah, if he makes weight, it also might affect his cardio. Is Darren Till going to be able to go 5 rounds with Tyron after this making weight? You know what I'm saying? Okay. A lot of motherfuckers, like I said, where's my boy Forward at? Booger Bash 2018. I hear you. And my boy Kenshiro Ryu, I know you bet on Darren Till when he was an underdog, but be careful, man. If he makes weight, we'll see what happens. Yo, I'm telling you, I think I found like an online bookie. I'm going to take like $20. It's all I got to gamble with, and I'm going to put that shit on Woodley the minute Darren Till makes weight. I'm telling you right now. Salute, bro. General Africa in the building responded to Genie, what's going on? And that's Eric Rosas in the building as well. What's going on, Eric? He said Till started his cut too soon. I seen that on the Chael Sonnen video, I believe, as well. His body isn't going to be able to get his normal weight after he rehydrates. Yo, it's tough, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and he's coming in. Bro, I pulled up the odds. It's official. I was waiting. It was dead even. Darren Till is officially a fucking favorite. Call me crazy, but I think that's fucking crazy. But hey, it is what it is. I also think Tatiana Suarez is a little underrated here, but she was a bigger underdog. I think there's been some people putting some money on Esparza because last I checked, she was like plus 500, plus 400. So it looks like there's some people betting or giving Carla a little respect. I don't know if she'll win the fight. I just didn't expect her to be that big of an underdog. But yeah, man, that's why one day, full-time family, I'm gonna be making a living. You know what I'm saying? Doing this shit. I'm gonna get into this. General Africa said, and I don't even like Woodley. What do you have to say about that? Full-time, we have to be careful. I understand Woodley's frustration, all the attention surrounding Till's weight. If he loses, it may take away from Woodley's victory. Well, Tyron don't give a damn if it takes away from his victory. People ain't gonna give him credit either way. If he loses, they can't wait to laugh, and if he wins, they're gonna say, "Oh, it's because he was overweight," and that's already gonna happen. But that happened when the UFC booked this fight and he missed weight. That's already gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Tyron Woodley's beat an overweight dude in the past. Kelvin Gastelum came in and missed weight by 10 pounds. Tyron Woodley beat him and gave him his fucking money back. You know what I'm saying? And people are already looking at Darren Till at the weight cut and saying that, oh, he looks bad. And so with that being said, you know, that's gonna people are already gonna take away from Tyron's win. And even if people give him credit. And also another thing is it's not a legacy fight, so it's not going to mean that much anyway, except for he beat a bigger guy, which I think he'll still get that credit. Yo, he beat a big dude. But still, it's that win, he's going to, no matter how people take this fight, he's probably going to, if he wins, have to fight Covington next, because Covington's sitting on the sides, you know, with that interim strap, unless he gets stripped, or Usman, you know, but either way, yeah, I hear what you're saying, though, but yeah, man. I don't think people are going to give Woodley credit if he wins for this anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen. crazy people taking a stab, says Eric Rosas. So he's the favorite too, but if he loses, will all the weigh-in drama come up? That's the question. I'm sure it will, but I just think at this point, Tyron Woodley don't even care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even think he expects to. If he wins, people are going to say he's supposed to win. The dude didn't deserve a title shot. You know, even if it's not the weight cut, they're going to say, oh, Darren Till didn't deserve a title shot. He lost to Wonder Boy. He shouldn't have been fighting anyway. It's already a built-in excuse against him if he wins. So it is what it is, man. Fuck it. We're just being real with it. So, yeah, man, the weight cut. And I've been saying that. That's why even before the fucking bad weight cut. Oh, $2 in the super chat from Mr. Perfect 2005. What the fuck is this? The Money Channel. Thank you very much, good sir, for your support. But, yeah, man, Tyron Woodley, you know what I'm saying? He tried everything, tried to point it out, and I think a lot of us fans realize as well. He might not get credit from the casual fan or from whoever. You know what I'm saying? And there is something that I'm wondering about, though. I wonder if Tyron Woodley sees that Darren Till is having a bad weight cut, because there is a little pressure on Woodley to have an entertaining fight, right? He's had 2 boring fights in a row. I'm not going to say 3 because people forget the first fight with Wonder Boy was fight of the night at UFC 205, McGregor versus Alvarez, biggest fight card in UFC history, and they got fight of the night. So we're not going to say 3 boring fights in a row, but there is pressure on Woodley to not be a boring fighter. Does he ignore that pressure? Or does he see Darren Till's having a bad weight cut and try and put it on him? Like, all right, he's had a bad weight cut. I'm about to knock this motherfucker out. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, it might make for an even better fight. We had 35 people watching. There's still 7 bagels floating around out there. When you're done biting your bagel, do your boy a favor. Hit the thumbs up button. It'd be much appreciated. And with that being said, yeah, man, we'll move back on. But, yeah, there's Rafael dos Anjos. You know, he's predicting Tyron Woodley to win. Also pointing out the weight cut, you know, and now he is saying, though, if Darren Till misses weight, he ain't going to be probably as drained, and he might have that advantage as the bigger fighter. But if his big ass actually gets down to 170, maybe he's a little drained, and that's one of the points I've been trying to point out as well. When I made my prediction, that's why I picked Woodley, and I'm a big Till fan. I was hyping Till up before people knew who he was fighting Cerrone. You know, whenever I looked into that fight, I was like, yo, this dude's a beast. I know it's over in Gdansk, and no one gives a fuck about this card, and everyone's like, who the fuck is that guy? But he's about to come in here and potentially fuck Cowboy up. Like, some people talk about, if you watch his 4 fights or 5 fights before he fought Cowboy, he's always looking dangerous, very dangerous, almost finished probably every guy he fought outside of maybe one. Like, Darren Till's a big dude, and he's definitely got great skills. So, it's going to be a great fight, but I just think that Tyron Woodley should probably be a favorite. So that's interesting. That's just my opinion, but that's just on some other shit. So yeah, with that being said, an underdog once more. Tyron Woodley says UFC 228 fight against Darren Till is personal. He said it feels great to be back. It feels great to have an opponent that really thinks he wants to go out there and train and just have that mindset. This is personal. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to send a message once and for all and just go out there and do what I need to do best. The narrative consistently stays the same, and I think the way you change the narrative is you go out there and you kick ass and you take names and you walk away. It's about to be intercepted. The storyline and what everybody thinks is going to happen is about to change once again. It's always the case, and that's why it's personal. You know, he's talking about being an underdog. He said, I'm tired of answering questions for his weight. He's the one who missed weight. He should answer the questions about his own weight, you know, because that's really a topic. You know, people are talking about Darren Till's weight more than a lot of the damn fights on the undercard. You know, you're talking about any of the fights on the prelims, the undercards. We're talking about Darren Till's weight more than breaking those fights down. You know, people are asking Tyron, what about his weight? Like, what about our motherfucking fight? what about our fight? Fuck his weight. We're professionals. Why the fuck are we what are we talking about? I'm gonna make weight. Ask me how I'm gonna kick his ass, and I'll tell you. No, but he said I don't really care. I can't make him make weight. I can't make him miss weight. The only thing I can control is I haven't seen his open workout, but I guarantee you he wasn't looking as vibrant as I was. I guarantee you he's not in the 70s yet, and I guarantee you if I get on the scale right now, I'm in the 70s. I've still got juice, and I'm still ready to go. So that's what I can focus on, the game plan, the strategy. Whether he's 170 or 179, I'm going to beat anybody who walks into that cage. 170 or 179. He ain't fucking around either. You know what I'm saying? I think that might be about where Gastelum came in. You know, he missed by about 10 pounds, 9 something, about 179. Now, There's a question. That'd be a good fight. Darren Till versus Kelvin Gastelum. I'd like to see that at middleweight potentially. If he wins, man, like I said, that could happen actually. So yeah, man. Tyron Woodley, underdog going into this fight. You might not like him. I say this all the time. Don't let your motherfucking emotions get in the way of who you pick to win. I mean, you know, a lot of people don't care. You know what I'm saying? You can pick to win who you want to win the fight. You want Tyron Woodley to lose. You want Darren Till to win. So you just want, that's who you pick. But, like, if you're betting or something, don't let your emotions get in the way of that. That's all I'm saying. But, yeah. Tyron Woodley coming in as the underdog. Darren Till, though, speaking of his weight, he's assuring his weight is okay. UFC 228 fight week gets underway. He's doing a lot of media, of course, answering a lot of questions. He actually showed up recently to the weight eating strawberries and shit, smiling, so maybe he had a good day. But, he had 12 pounds to cut, I believe, in 48 hours at one point. Excuse me. He had 12 pounds to cut in 48 hours at one point. And then the next day, he showed up to the media eating, like, fruits. And they were like, we didn't expect that. He's like, oh, it doesn't mean anything. I'm just it's just so happened to be the time that I'm supposed to be eating. So, when he was smiling, he wasn't frowning. So he seemed to be happy with where his weight was at. So either way, will it affect his performance? But he said, we'll see. Friday, I'm not stepping any heavier than 170. Hopefully I'm there. Then I can have me traditional Coke and what I'm used to having. We'll see, but I'm not looking ahead of anything now. This motherfucker's going to make weight, and the first thing he's going to drink is a motherfucking Coke. Okay, hey, maybe you can after you make weight. But, hey, it is what it is. I don't seem like a good idea against the motherfucking chosen one, Tyron Woodley. Like him or not, he's proven. That's what I'll say. Like, who gives a fuck if you like him? Has he not proved he can beat the best contenders in the division time and time again now? I mean, he's fought a lot of the best, even before the UFC he was fighting a lot of the best guys. He's not ducking anybody. I mean, he's called out the best names. He's called out GSP, like, what's up? I mean, if GSP is the best welterweight of all time, you got to give Tyron Woodley props for wanting that fight. He wants the tough fight. You know what I'm saying? He wanted the Bisping fight. I mean, now, however you look at that, but it's another weight class. He's talked about that. So, hey, it is what it is. But Darren Till coming in, everyone's focused on his weight cut and picking him to win. You know what I'm saying? So, he's a big dude. Hopefully the weight cut don't affect him too much. He can provide some challenges to Tyron Woodley that a lot of his opponents haven't provided recently. But I was listening to an interview with Tyron Woodley, and he said, because Darren Till recently came out and said, he ain't going to find nobody to train with like me. And I was like, I don't know about that. Because if you can find somebody to train for Wonder Boy, you can find someone to fucking train for Darren Till. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tyron Woodley responded to that. He was like, I can't find a 6'4" body that's like him, like a southpaw striker. What is he talking about? Made a good point. Tyron Woodley, and he goes that extra mile. He's got the money to put into his training camp. I mean, to me, I don't. It is what it is. People just don't like the personality, so he's underrated. But hey, let that be the reason. You know what I'm saying? You're wrong on UFC 228. Darren Till is very young as well, and I'm not saying he's not championship caliber. I'm just saying it might not be his time yet. The UFC could have made a mistake here. I mean, if you wanted to preserve Darren Till zero, now at the same time, maybe they're gambling here. Maybe the UFC's gambling here because if Darren Till wins, boy, are we going to be able to pay back some of that motherfucking loan. Because boy, is he going to be a cash cow. He will be the welterweight champion, undefeated, 18-0, speaks Scout, speaks Portuguese, motherfucking English, willing to move up to 185, fight Adesanya before even fucking around and fighting for the middleweight title. I mean, maybe that's why they're taking this gamble. Of course, they also needed a headliner. So, either way, man, we'll see what happens. This is a winnable fight for Woodley, and he's the underdog as the champion. Even my motherfucking 4-year-old nephew will come in here and say, he's the champion. He's going to win. But that's just because he always picks the champion. So, put some respect on the champion's name. In every case, except for this one. No, you still give Nicco some respect, but this is the only time where, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of okay to kind of count the champion out. So this isn't the best, transition as far as what we were just talking about, but this is a special case here with Nicco Montaño. You know what I'm saying? And as far as this fight's concerned, a lot of people, including her opponent, Valentina Shevchenko, wonder, is Nicco going to show up? I know we're only 2 fights away, but there's all type of cords and shit you can trip on. You know what I'm saying? And leading up to this fight. Is she going to have her sunglasses on in the building? Is something going to happen? motherfucking tonsil gonna pop up, you know what I'm saying, and swell up or something. Who knows? Who knows? Is she gonna make it? That's reasonable. You know what I'm saying? This is you're the champion. A lot of people have been disrespecting you a little bit, but at the same time, it might be rightfully so. You know, if we're talking about we respect the UFC and the UFC belt, and especially Valentina Shevchenko's skills, and we're just being realistic, saying there's levels to this shit. So we're just being realistic when we talk about this potential ass whooping. So maybe rightfully so, but still, there's a lot of light being shined on. Damn, Nicco, and also Moore's brought on it because she's had these multiple injuries leading up to this fight. We're already expecting her to get washed, and then it's like, oh, my legs hurt, I can't fight. It's like, and it's like, all right, well, when you're ready. No, my tonsillitis got, so it's like, okay, all right, motherfucker. So people are starting to get antsy, like, hey, do you really want this? Do you really want smoke, or are you kind of ducking here? You know what I'm saying? And what's going on? So, and a lot of these times, injuries are real. That's the thing. Like we talked about earlier in the show, convenient injuries. A lot of these convenient injuries are real. This is a tough sport to train for. You do see fights not happening all the time. Fighters get injured. Well, you might fuck around and get something broke. No, that don't happen all the time, getting something broke in jiu-jitsu. Dominick Cruz's arm did get broke recently, but it wasn't from, like, a fucking crazy armbar in training. But you get the point. When you're training, striking, you're doing all this different type of shit. I mean, people get injured, fights get canceled. And so, yeah, some injuries do seem convenient, but a lot of the time, there's something to these injuries. You know what I'm saying? They're real. So, either way, whenever you're fighting somebody that people expect you to lose to and you get an injury, then that's going to make fans and people start saying, hey, we think you're scared and shit like that. And question, is she going to make it to the fight? And with that being said, Valentina Shevchenko also answered that recently and said, I don't know if she's going to make it. All I can do is worry about the fight. I'm going to make it. I don't know. Hopefully she does. Like, those say, so do you think she'll make it? I hope so. You know what I'm saying? She's not saying, yeah, I think she will. She's not confident. And Nicco Montaño said that she's in La La Land if she don't think she'll show up to UFC 228. Now, this is an interview, not an article, but still that headline is funny because Nicco Montaño, if you haven't been watching her leading up to this, she's a very likable person. She's got personality, man. More power to the girl. Nothing against Nicco Montaño. Like I said, we're just being realistic when we talk about this potential ass whooping. Nobody hate Nicco. But hey, you know what I'm saying? She's definitely having a little fun in the media. Talking about potentially knocking out and submitting Valentina, both, you know what I'm saying? Just having fun, potentially walking into this slaughter. I mean, it has potential. And with that being said, Nicco Montaño also before UFC 228 talked about being the underdog. She said, it's just part of who I am in the spirit. And a lot of people didn't watch the Ultimate Fighter season 26 where she actually won the show. It was the female flyweight show, but she came in as the 14 seed. She was the underdog in each of those fights on the show, and she won the show. So she's been the underdog for a long time now, and she's a huge underdog now, but she's shown she can overcome that adversity and win as the underdog. And with that being said, she's saying that's just part of who she is in spirit. Now, one thing, and this is just me, I haven't heard anybody else talk about this, and maybe it's definitely a side note, but it's just, I don't know what the word is, ironic or what, but I think ironic. I think it's kind of ironic that we have our first Native American champion potentially walking into what has the potential to be a slaughter. Okay, maybe that's, I don't know, it just, you know what I'm saying? Like, has anybody else thought about that? Like, Nicco Montaño is the first Native American champion, and this has the potential to be a motherfucking beat down. You know what I'm saying? You know how, like, the NFL had, like, the Cowboys and the Redskins, they played, like, every Thanksgiving? I don't know. Like, that's just kind of what I thought of. You know what I'm saying? Because she's the first Native American champion. And this is a potential, you know what I'm saying, a slaughter. So, not a slaughter in that way, of course, in history way, but in the UFC way. This is a potential one. So, you see what I'm getting at, kind of? Like, that's just something I thought of randomly. But yeah, she's saying she's an underdog in spirit. She said, I have nothing to prove and everything to gain. I'm the champion, but I didn't want my whole life trying to get this one thing. I spent my whole life fighting to be the best person I can be, the person that my little sister can look up to and actually aspire to be, instead of some random girl floating around, making a living, being just who they think they should be as opposed to who they actually can be. So And, and she talked about being the underdog on the Ultimate Fighter show, and that's just who she is. She's cool with being the underdog and playing that role. But yeah, Poet Against said Nicco might shock the world and moon the crowd. Hey, I'm in. Hey, pronounce your name for me. 3EN6IE, because you're part of the full-time family. You're here all the time. I don't know is that supposed to be a B or an E, and is the 6 supposed to be a B or what? How am I supposed to pronounce that? Because I'll be seeing it, wanting to read your comment, but I don't know if it's like Benji. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to say when I see your name with those 3s and 6s. I disagree, though. He says Nicco came off as the bionic woman, only being held together by her. Let me see. Her physical rehabilitation. Yeah, that also. You know what I'm saying? She's fucking going. She's had the injuries leading up to the fight, and so she's gonna get a way out. Not a way out, but she kind of has a built-in excuse, and she damn sure she didn't need no excuse. Nicco Montaño at 200% would have a tough time beating Valentina. So fuck all that injury noise. But at the same time, they are there. She has had injuries, and she has pointed those out. Like, hey, I may never be 100%, but I gotta fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like on the tough, she's seen her with the physical therapy and shit, and so yeah, man, there's a lot being made that the fact that she's injured, and so she's kind of got a little bit of excuse, but fuck all that. There's levels to this game, son. What's PK Vidge says, heads will explode if Nicco wins. Yes, sir. Loki Super Racist says, Johnny 5. No, it's fucking not, man. It's just a thought. There was nothing racist about that. I didn't say anything bad about any people. Stamina MC, General Africa Awakened in the building, says, that's Benji. Okay, so Benji. All right, so that's a B and a G. Okay, Benji. There we go. All right. Benji said, by the way, I was a long-time Nicco supporter on Coach's channel. I like the girl. I like her too, you know what I'm saying? But you ain't got to be scared to get your ass whooped, and you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I like her too. I want to see what happens after this. I think, shoot, there's a few girls, Caitlin Chukagian, Alexis Davis, Jessica I, that might be able to, potentially put up a good fight with Nicco, if not beat her. A lot of the girls up there in the top of this flyweight division. But if she wants to come around, you know what I'm saying, she could still hang around the flyweight division, and I want to see how she would do against, I don't know, how would she even do against some of those girls? Fuck it, I want to see those fights. Yeah, it'd be a good chance she could lose. I think those would be good fights. Valentina's just on another level. All those girls we just named, they're all going to lose to Valentina too. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, how is Nicco going to do against the other top contenders? That's what I want to see. Just once this weekend's over with, you know what I'm saying? This whole Nicco Montaño, I don't want to say fucking, this whole Nicco Montaño affair, I was going to say like, I don't want to say bullying, because she actually said that in the article we're about to pull up, something about being cyberbullied. But she's been getting a lot of heat leading up to this fight. But after this, I think all that's going to be over. It's because of the injuries and who she's fighting and shit like that. So, but after that, I'll be interested to see where Nicco Montaño goes. But speaking of that, another Nicco Montaño topic, man. I mean, Nicco Montaño is the talk of the town. It is what it is. She's got a lot of headlines. You know what I'm saying? Like, for whatever reason, because she's such a big underdog, like, you don't see this all the time, right? Whenever Yana Kunitskaya is fighting Chris Cyborg, it ain't all about, yo, Yana, so how's it feel knowing you're about to get your, yo, Yana, like, it's not about that. Like, Nicco Montaño actually is getting a lot of attention as the underdog, you know what I'm saying? Like, it gives us all really a lot to talk about. So, for that's just facts. But yeah, Nicco Montaño ready to shut up everybody versus Valentina Shevchenko. She also mentions, that's what she says in this article. She's like, no one can help Valentina in the cage, like, and no one can, like, the people that, I'll read it, something about cyberbullying, and I was like, I kind of cringed, but I kind of feel it a little bit, maybe, I don't know, maybe not, but this is what she had to say. Having the longevity of my body and being healthy is the most important thing for me right now, and I'm sure a lot of fighters learn through camps. Yo, pause, real quick. The fact that she is concerned about her health, you don't want to be concerned about your health going into a fight with Valentina. You know, that could be all for naught. Like, Valentina's about to do some damage, but afterward, who knows? Shit, being worried about your health, and then what if Valentina does some, like, Priscilla Cachoeira type shit? Like, hopefully Mario Yamasaki's not on the desk, or any of them do. Like, but Dan Mergliotta, he had a reputation for somewhat of the same stuff. But either way, being worried about your health, you're going to be probably taking some damage in this fight. Will she even come back to the flyweight division if some shit, like if she gets a beat down kind of like Priscilla Cachoeira did or something like that? If Valentina looks like Valentina Nurmagomedov in here, Nicco might fuck around and retire. She's already been talking about her health and stuff, but I actually want to see Nicco come back and fight some of the girls in the top 5. And she's got a lot of attention. I think a lot of people would even be interested in those fights. You know what I'm saying? Even with this ass whooping that's potentially about to happen. But either way, she continued and she said, it's pretty easy to just get damaged. My foot is always going to be arthritic, so it's never going to be 100%, but it's definitely feeling a lot better than what it was once feeling. We're on the right page. Without me getting sick those 2 months when I was trying to get back into camp, I think I would have been pushing to get it back. I would have been pushing my foot when it wasn't really recovered to what it could be. Now we know how to prevent a lot of further injuries and how to stay on top of it with treatment, and it took some time to figure that out. And then the last thing I wanted to read is she said, that's absolutely the ultimate goal, just to shut everybody up about it. When it comes down to uncrowned or not, I'm the one who has the belt currently, and I'm the one that's going to be fighting for the belt again September 8th. It's just going to be me and her. No matter what anybody says, nobody's going to be able to help her in that cage. Nobody's going to be able to cyberbully me in that cage. So we're good. Eek. That's the first time I ever heard about her like saying something about being cyberbullied. But I can only imagine there's people on Twitter and Instagram on her ass. You know what I'm saying? Like how that, you know, how they can get crazy. Like you could imagine every post she posts, there's probably people responding to her tweets. Oh, when you gonna fight Valentina? You scared? Nicco, you ducking? Like, you know, and the word cyberbully, I know it makes a lot of people cringe, but I'm sure it's not a fun time for Nicco Montaño on social media these days until she actually steps in that octagon. But just like with the whole Rose Namajunas situation, I think after this weekend, a lot of that's, you know, people are going to give their proper respect to Nicco, even if she loses. She got in there, she fought, went out on her shield, lost the belt. Boom. People ain't going to be on her ass like they are, you know, and same for Rose with this whole, you know, what I'm saying, the mental thing going on with her, with the Conor McGregor thing. I think after Khabib versus Conor, a lot of that shit's going to die down and no one's really going to care about that anymore. But hey, man, as of right now, and that's the first time I've ever heard Nicco say the word cyberbully. So I was just like, ooh, that's kind of interesting. And that's what actually attracted me to the headline, which it's not the headline of this right here, but whatever made me draw it, it said something about the cyberbullying thing. And I was like, awkward. But yeah, man. Other than that, though, man, UFC 228, I believe. Or is it 229? I think it's 229, Dominick Reyes. Yeah, he's fighting OSP. Man, this is going to be a good fight moving on, though. But let's see what the full-time family's talking about before we touch on this subject. Stem MC responded to General Africa. Johnny 5 said, I'm ready to see a good beatdown again. Pablo Platinum Escobar in the building. He said, and hey, I don't know if this was covered yet, but the stare down between Till and Woodley today got me so hyped for the fight. Damn, boy. No, it wasn't covered yet today, but yeah, man, that shit was intense, man. I'm hyped for the fight regardless. I mean, it's going to be a good-ass fight. I mean, you can just see it. It's even. Like, a lot of people think Till's going to win. A lot of people want to see Woodley lose, but Woodley's a champ, plus Till's got the weight cut going on. So many factors, so many intangibles going on aside from just the great potential fight coming on. I mean, I don't think there's pressure on both of these guys, by the way. Don't forget, Darren Till's last fight wasn't fucking barn burner either. So, you know what I'm saying? The fans want to see a good fight from both of these guys, and I would expect at least somebody to try and come out here and put on a show. So we got a good potential, or hopefully it's going to be a great fight. And Tyron Woodley feeling disrespected. Darren Till ready to be the champion. Keep that 0 intact, undefeated. Let's fucking go. Bada Jr. said, RIP MGK, his career, ego, family, past, present, and future. What, did Eminem respond yet? I really hope he did. You know what I'm saying? I hope he responded. I know there's the potential, but as of right now, MGK, you know, and it could be short-lived, but MGK's diss track, I ain't gonna lie, as a lifelong Eminem fan, I'm still don't know what today is. I never thought the day would come where it almost sounded like when Eminem used to flame up other people back in the day. That's how MGK was just like picking him. I'm like, damn, another verse? Damn, dog, like it's some hot shit. So, I mean, I know there's the potential for him to come back, but if he ain't came back yet, man, I need to hear it. I don't know about this, the potential. Like, he's got to have some heat, too. He can't just come with some, you know, he's got to have something on MGK to come back. People want to hear some personal shit because MGK tried to come at everything. But, yeah, MGK brought that heat, said Poetic Gangsta. I agree, man. I'm not even an MGK fan, never have been. Of course, I went crazy to Wild Boy at multiple parties, but other than that, I ain't just had no MGK playlist. I'm Eminem. I'm Team Eminem. But goddamn, I gotta give respect where respect is due. MGK wasn't fucking around. Bada Jr. said M gonna murder MGK like full-time murdered Chapo, Stewie, and MMA hoes. I hope so, man. I hope so. I'm pulling for him too. You know, but is there a time limit? Like, I don't know. You know what? It's just, I don't know. Is he going to want to, he just dropped a surprise album. What's he going to do now? Dedicate his time to respond because you got Joe Budden responding on his podcast. What's he going to do? Now come out and respond to Budden again? And Budden said some crazy shit like, I feel like I'm better than Eminem right now. Like, I listened to that. Like, so what's he going to do now? Go back and keep going back and forth? So I hope he does, man. He's got to come back once. Paul says, Stamina MC. Woodley will come out blazing. No, just kidding. I mean, if he sees Till has a bad weight cut, I talked about that earlier. You might come in here looking for that knockout. Listen to Black Thought's 10-minute freestyle. I got to write that down on a notepad, bro, because I'm going to do that. Let me write this down. Black Thought. I was going to do it the other day, and I forgot. Black Thought 10-minute freestyle. All right, I wrote it down, man. I'm going to listen to it for you, Bada. I think Eminem shouldn't even bother responding. If you don't respond, man, hey, I think you got to it. Just MGK, like, he might not. It's kind of a lose-lose. He said that actually on his album. You know, it's a lose-lose. You diss me, millions of views. I diss you, you know, more views, pretty much views for you. Like, it's when you're at the top, I don't know. I mean, he came at these people. You got to expect the response. And MGK came with, if MGK came with some shitty response, like, oh, fuck Eminem, nobody would care. Eminem killed you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't got nothing on Eminem. The fact that he came with such a fucking detailed and lengthy and good track, I think that might warrant a response. So that's my question to Eminem fans like myself and you, Bada Jr. What if he don't come back to MGK? I don't want to think about that. I'm just going to hope he does. Benji says gangster rap was created to poison the culture. That's the cold, hard reality. Hey, man. Well, I don't even know if this is considered gangster rap. Is it MGK versus Eminem? Maybe. I don't know. Is that gangster rap? I don't know. She says, if there's a response, it opens the floodgates for loads of low-tier MCs to clout chase and otherwise would have never dared, and rightfully so. Oh, it's already happening. He mentioned the Lil rappers, and now you got, I think Lil Pump did a skit. Tekashi 6ix9ine did a fucking skit. It was so funny. It was so fucking funny, dog. Everyone's just going to respond, and they're all getting clout off of Eminem right now. And that's probably why Eminem stopped fucking dissing people at some point. He's so big now, all it is it's kind of a lose-lose. Motherfuckers going to clout chase for years. I wouldn't be surprised if MGK dropped the album with another Eminem diss song. I wouldn't be surprised if a few of these motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, so I don't know. But MGK's diss was pretty hot. That's all I'm saying. So, like, maybe that one you got to respond to. That's all I'm saying. Like, that one. That's the one I don't like. Everyone else, I don't really... Maybe you're right. Fuck everybody else. That one, though? Come on, man. Damn. What's going on? Everyone knows you don't say her name. You talking about how he said Haley's name? Yeah, man. But, to be fair, he was being real. He kept it all the way 100. MGK, have you not seen a picture of Haley with, like, just, I grew up, I was probably, 9, 10, bumping Eminem, one of my favorite rappers all the way growing up, even younger than that, maybe older, all the way till now. Like, been a huge Eminem fan. But we know who Haley is. So if you see Haley that's grown now, 18, 21 years old, and she's sexy as fuck, she's looking good, what are you supposed to do? Not comment on it because you respect Eminem? Like, yo, Eminem's daughter looks fucking amazing. Real shit. Like, but Eminem's the GOAT. I'm just saying, she's bad. Like, how is that? That's not no diss. He didn't come out and say, yo, she's, I would smack. Like, he didn't be disrespectful with it. He just said she looked good. Like, damn, nigga. Now, also, Eminem said he might have subliminally dissed him. Maybe Eminem was listening and heard a subliminal diss. And maybe that's what sparked it. But people are bringing up that MGK tweet from, like, 2012. Like, he was just being keeping it honest. I saw that picture. Haley's bad. What are you talking about? How is that a bad thing? Weezen336 says, could be argued that Eminem should have never bothered dissing MGK in the first place, and that's why he dropped the surprise album. He talked about that on the album. They told me not to do this, but I'm doing this shit like on impulse. Like, he just did it. Like, they've been telling him not to go at people. It's a lose-lose. I mean, you're going to pretty much look bad in this because you're just opening the floodgates for people to come back and diss you. And now what? Do you, at 40 years old, start fucking diss tracking all these dudes again, and you respond to everybody, and what do? You come back, you know? So yeah, it's kind of a lose-lose, but Eminem was like, man, fuck that. I got to get one off. I've been making these commercialized-ass records. I'm trying to get back to the old M, and I'm not going to lie, it was a great effort. It was a great album. I liked a lot of the songs on Eminem's new shit, Kamikaze, like 7 songs, I think. I liked them, but the fact that it resulted in this MGK diss, I'm kind of like, shit, where are we at? Where are we at? But hey, man, that's not even MMA, but we all know fucking Eminem. Eminem. No? Eminem? No? Wrestling 336 says, yeah, dude, Eminem just proves MGK right by continuing this thing. Looks old and bitter. God, and that's the thing, right? That's why I'm talking about this MGK when he had so much funny and, like, good shit. Like, he had some funny shit, some good lines. He sounded like old school Eminem in this song. The beginning where he says, someone get the clippers, your fucking beard is weird. He said some shit, like, he said a lot, and then the chorus is even kind of cool, like, let's talk, you're still rich, you're rich and you're still mad, let's talk about it, like, come on, MGK, why you do that to my dog? But yeah, man, let's talk about this fight. This is going to be a great fight, man. Dominick Reyes looking to do as much damage as possible in a fight with OSP, and that's good to see for one, because he needs to make a statement in this fight. You know, he doesn't have the most experience. He might be like 9-1 or 9-0, 10-0, something like that. You know, he doesn't got like no 30 fights like OSP. You know, so he don't have the most experience with big names, so he don't have the most fans. So he wants to come in here and make a statement against a very tough fighter like Ovince St. Preux. I don't give a fuck what you say. Ovince St. Preux is somebody you probably should never bet against unless he's going against like John Jones and Daniel Cormier, because he's well-rounded. What more can you ask for in an MMA fighter? He's dangerous. He can knock you out. He can submit you. He can wrestle, and he's well-rounded. Now, of course, he's been finished, but he's very well-rounded. He's great everywhere, so it's hard to count him out against anybody. But he's a guy that's been in there with John Jones, been in there with some of the bigger names of the sport, and if you can beat him in spectacular fashion, kind of like Ilir Latifi did when he choked him out, that can propel you high into the heavyweight division. So Dominick Reyes, who's shown to be, in his last fight, I believe, got a pretty nasty knockout. He's shown to be a dangerous fighter. I think he's got 3 fights in the UFC, all submissions, or all finishes, 2 knockouts, 1 submission. And if he can come in and do that over OSP, he would definitely make a statement. And that's what he's looking to do. He said OSP fights. He's a fighter and he fights. I love that. That's how I am. I love fighting. I don't like going in there and just looking at each other or wrestling and grappling. People didn't show up to watch a wrestling match. I have no animosity toward OSP. I mean, I think he's a great guy outside the ring, but in the ring, yeah, we ain't friends. We ain't no friends. I'm there to cause as much damage as possible. Yes, sir. I'm hoping to get a win that gets me into the top 5, top 10 at least. Then, yeah, we'll see what happens. There's a lot of guys coming up now, you know, like Alexander Raychik, another up-and-coming light heavyweight. But he said the light heavyweight division's looking a lot healthier, so that's cool. And it is. It definitely is. It was known as one of the least stacked divisions. But you guys coming up, some guys coming up from middleweight. Anthony Smith, Thiago Santos. I mean, you got guys like Dominick Reyes, Alexander Raychik. A lot of guys coming up. And even in the top of the division, Corey Anderson just getting better and better. Guys, a lot of guys up there that are going to be fighting soon. Corey Anderson, who's he fighting? Not Glover Teixeira, but Ilir Latifi. He's another one. Like, there's guys at the top and guys coming up. So, light heavyweights looking towards some brighter days. And Dominick Reyes is one of those guys. It's going to be a great fight versus OSP. Big L and his heat are dearly, dearly missed. Bada Jr. says, he's responding to General, by far the most eyes to MGK's career. That's another thing, man. A lot of people, yeah, like major clouting the fuck up off of this. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it is what it is. Definitely the biggest. Like I said, I respect MGK now. Before this, I didn't give 2 fucks about MGK. Like I said, you're at a party, of course, you're going to throw on Wild Boy, but I don't know shit about MGK like that. Probably had a couple hits on the radio, I've heard, but I didn't check for MGK. But this shit right here definitely got the respect from a lot of us Eminem fans. Even if you are a big Eminem fan, put some respect on that response specifically. I don't know shit else about MGK, but that was some heat. Respect where respect is due. Cam Murphy said LMAO Dodson's hair. I never seen him like that. I know. I know. Ain't that funny? That's how my shit would be looking if I was letting it grow out. That's funny. But yeah, he's got his shit picked out too. You know what I'm saying? Coming in here. I don't know what's up with the look, new Dodson, but he's got a tough fight with Jimmy Rivera, and he said it's personal after the disrespectful interviews. Now, I don't know exactly what Jimmy Rivera's the words are said. We'll see if they're in this article, but Jimmy Rivera's making a quick turnaround. He got knocked out in the first round by Marlon Moraes with that fucking head kick real quick, and that was only like a month or two ago, and he's coming back to fight John Dodson. John Dodson's definitely got some power. He's very quick as well, so we'll see what happens. He's been fighting to a couple decisions as of late. Hasn't been able to get the finish he may have wanted, but still, he's definitely a very talented, maybe even underrated fighter. But as far as we'll read this first paragraph as well to see if they say something about Jimmy Rivera. Dodson has been pursuing a fight with Rivera for quite some time. He said he claims the matchup has been offered to him 5 separate times, but only now is finally coming to fruition. It's been a long wait for the magician. And he said the animosity really kickstarted in December when he offered to fight Rivera as a late replacement at UFC 219. I believe the word is ducking actually is the correct term. When I tried to fight him in December, when he sat there and cried, not only did he whine about it and then complain about it, he put the cherry on top and said, there's nobody in this division that wants to go ahead and do this. I miss Thanksgiving, I miss Christmas, and I miss my daughter's birthday, my anniversary. They called first to replace his fighter. They called me. He said, who they called first to replace this fighter? They called me. He was like, no, I don't want to take that fight. I was like, dude, I'll fight you at 45. I'll fight you at 50. I'll fight you at 55. We don't have to cut weight. I'll go out there and fight you. You want me to make 35? I'll make it. I'll make it in 3 days. I will suffer. I'll torture my body, and I will fight you. No, he was like, no, and I was like, okay. And John Dodson, you can just imagine him, just chipper telling this story. Just, yeah, he's ducking. Like, I offered to fight him. 35, 45, he didn't want it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of John Dodson. I know a lot of people, don't have the most fans in the world, but I put respect on his name. I think he's a little underrated. But he said, I'm tired of Jimmy Rivera disrespecting me time and time again on social media. In any interview he does and anything he does, anybody that sits there in front of him and he has the balls and the audacity to sit there and tell people that I'm not worthy to fight him, a fan that's sitting there telling me that I'm not good enough to go ahead and fight this dude, I have more losses on my record than he has knockouts. This man can't knock anybody, and he's sitting there telling me that I'm a boring fighter. Okay, let's go find out. Let's put it to the test. I'm going to put my fist through your face, and you can let me know how boring I am. How exciting is it going to be when you're flat on your back looking up at the stars telling everybody, I did see Haley's comment because I need to make a wish right now. John Dodson, let's go. Yo, let's get it, man. It's always good to see two dudes, they're not friends coming into a fight and they're going to settle that shit. John Dodson, what I'm saying? Hey, let's go. That makes me want to see the fight a little more. Maybe some other people as well. I'm sure it does. But with that being said, I actually picked John Dodson to win this fight this weekend. Yeah, Jimmy Rivera was on a 19-25 win streak before getting KO'd by Marlon Moraes. But not only is he making a quick turnaround, John Dodson has more paths to victory. Like John Dodson said, Jimmy Rivera, out of his 25 wins, has like 19 decisions. John Dodson's knocked out the current champ TJ Dillashaw, and he's knocked some other dudes down, if not out as well. So he can win a decision. He can win a knockout. So John Dodson could very well win this fight, and he definitely fucking deserves to be in there with Jimmy Rivera. I'm sure he's got more UFC fights than Jimmy Rivera. He's a former title challenger at flyweight. Like, how does he not deserve the fight? Like, fuck you really talking about? So, yeah, I agree with John Dodson there. And, hey, man, it's going to be a great fight. Jimmy Rivera definitely wants to bounce back, I'm sure, after that first-round knockout real quick. But we'll see if he can be like Frankie Edgar on this quick turnaround and get the W. But a fight that was supposed to happen not too long ago, Paul Felder still wants James Vick after losing out on the initial UFC Boise fight. That was the original main event. But, of course, James Vick got called out. Was it the main event? I think it was. But James Vick got called up to take on Gaethje, so he took that opportunity, and instead Paul Felder moved in to fight Mike Perry. But we saw James Vick get knocked out, and Paul Felder, that could have been him. You know what I'm saying? He was supposed to be fighting James Vick, and you know what I'm saying. He's very talented as well, so he probably wants that fight. And you know, now I'm gonna admit, of course, this headline and it just looks a little crazy because James Vick just got fucking knocked out and, you know, towered over and shit in the first round. So anybody that's like kind of calling for a James Vick fight, you know, kind of look a little crazy, but at the same time, he had this fight already. He just saying he wants that fight back. I was already supposed to fight him. I was already preparing to fight him. So yeah, eventually I'd like to fight him again when he comes back or whatever. But he said, the Irish Dragon, Paul Felder, he said this. He said, where the fuck is the quote? He was supposed to have his fight of the year, UFC 223, in April when he was set to take on Al Iaquinta. However, thanks to the craziness that was UFC 223, Iaquinta would end up bailing to Felder to fill in for Max Holloway, take on Khabib. So yeah, this isn't the first time Paul Felder lost this fight. He was, of course, supposed to fight Iaquinta at UFC 223, lost his opponent there. He was supposed to fight Vick, lost his opponent. So he's lost a couple opponents now, and that's kind of why he took that short notice fight against Mike Perry. Like, fuck this, dude. That's like another training camp I went through and lost my opponent. I'm just fighting someone. Put me in there against Perry at welterweight. Didn't go his way. It was still a good fight, but I think, broke his arm in that fight, so he's coming off of that injury. But either way, now looking to return to lightweight, Felder hopes he can get the fight with Vick remade on UFC on Fox 31 December 15th. Sometime early 2019, he recently told ESPN. Vick also stated he's open to the fight, so that'd be a good fight. Maybe that can get remade early 2019, end of the year, we'll see. But both of those guys potentially want that fight. Now, this is kind of fucking interesting, full-time family, because if you recall, Diego Sanchez just apologized for this whole, you know, going out on social media and airing. After Donald Cerrone went on the Joe Rogan podcast and revealed everything going on with his whole split from Jackson Wink, Diego Sanchez came out and backed Jackson Wink and Team Platinum Perry and was like, yo, fucking Cerrone, in my decade of being here, you never helped me. You were selfish. And, you know, he went at Donald Cerrone. He was like, and by the way, if Mike Perry can't make it to fight you at Denver, I'll step in there. So, you know, he's even wanting to throw hands with Cerrone a little bit. But then Leonard Garcia came out and called him out like, hey, they're going to handle their fight. Cerrone and Perry, let them handle that. But since you want to fight, I'm Team Cerrone. That's my brother. So, you know, it sucks to see this shit going on. I don't do the whole social media thing. But, all right, Diego Sanchez, since you want to call out Cerrone, I got my brother's back. How about you fight me in bare-knuckle boxing? I'm sure they'd like us to fight there. And after that, Diego Sanchez came out and apologized. He was like, yo, probably shouldn't have did it that way. I was just trying to say, you know, it's business over money. Wink and them are like my brothers. So, you know, nothing personal. I apologize. You know, he came out and backed down a little bit. But now, maybe he was asked by the media, but he's saying there's still a big possibility of a Donald Cerrone fight this year after the gym beef. So, are you apologizing or are you wanting to fight Cerrone? That's what I want to know. Because when Leonard Garcia was talking about this bare-knuckle fight, we were apologizing, and now we're back in the media talking about possibly fighting Cerrone again. So we'll have to see where this goes, but this whole Jackson Wink versus Team Cerrone thing, man, it's going to come to a head possibly at UFC Denver. That might just be the start of things, because this really ain't Mike Perry's beef. But either way, he said it hurt to see Cowboy trashing these guys that work so hard, and they put in the time in the sport. Gyms go through ups, gyms go through downs. It's a business. It's about money. Winklejohn has $40,000 a month he pays on overhead on our facility. So there are decisions that have to be made. I was just more emotional because Cowboy trash talked a really good man, my wrestling coach Chad Smith. He's a really good dude. He never sold no steroids to no kids. And he's lucky, Cowboy is lucky that Chad is such a good dude, or else he would be suing him for defamation of character right now. And so, you know, he was pissed off about that. But he said, yeah, I was pissed. The old Budokan wanted to come out like, if I see this guy right now, it's going down. That's my coach. I told Cowboy, like, look, bro, what if it was your coach, someone did that to you? How would you respond, bro? I go to war with these guys. These guys have been there when I was knocked unconscious, and they're right there taking care of me with the love and passion. Those are the type of guys that he's talking shit about. I wouldn't have it. I had to say a few words, and if everything unfolds, you never know. We may be standing across the cage from each other. He's fighting Mike Perry, and he has to fight Mike Perry, but I know that's a fight fans have always wanted. It's me and Cowboy. Say I win, he loses. It's a big possibility that this fight could happen before the end of the year. And so, yeah, man, Diego Sanchez is still looking at potentially that Cowboy fight, But motherfucker, let's see what Leonard Garcia's got going on, because that was the whole guy that, you know, called out Diego Sanchez originally, and after when he kind of apologized. But Leonard Garcia does have some news of his own. He signed with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship officially. So he's showing his interest. He offered Diego Sanchez, you want some smoking bare knuckle? What's up? And now he's in there. He's in bare knuckle. And this is what he had to say about that. It's always kind of been made for him. Leonard Garcia, former UFC and WEC fighter, of course, over there at the BMF Ranch with Cowboy Cerrone. He said, when this bare knuckle thing jumped out, I seen it right away and it caught my attention. I always said I wish we could just punch each other and not have to worry about takedowns and not have to worry about getting kicked or kneed in the head. I just wish we could stand in front of each other, draw a line in the sand, and he see who the better man was. And when I seen this sport come up, I was like, why did this come years after I was out? But I was talking to a group, talking to Cowboy and Dwayne Ludwig and everybody else, and I was like, man, what do you guys think about this sport? What do you see? And everybody always tells me the same thing. It's tailor-made for a guy like you, so it kind of makes sense, and I don't know what they'll call it, a midlife crisis, but I've talked with my wife about it, and that's the thing. She's my partner on everything I do. So we put our heads together and we thought about it long and hard. I left the sport of MMA. I felt like I left the sport. I should have left it as a better form or facet. I don't feel like I left it. I feel like I left a mark. I just don't feel like I left a mark that I wanted to leave. I wanted to walk away out on a win like everybody else does. So coming back potentially, he's going to be fighting at bare knuckle. They've been making a lot of waves lately. I mean, you know, they're getting, of course, they don't have a lot of UFC vets, but they've got a couple now. I mean, you got the Queen of Bare Knuckle over there, Beck Rawlings. Rico Rodriguez might have fought a fight over there. Of course, they had Charles Bennett fighting on the card. So bare knuckle, they definitely got their thing going on. I think they're coming up on their third event. Maybe he'll be there. And who knows? I mean, Diego Sanchez is talking about if he wins and Cowboy loses, they might fight. Shit, if he loses, he might have to fight Leonard and bare knuckle. That's all I'm saying. That could very well happen as well, because pull up the odds real quick. Diego Sanchez is not a favorite in this fight. He's going against Craig White, and he's almost a 2-1 underdog. So he could very well lose this fight. And if he does, maybe Diego Sanchez ends up in bare knuckle over here with Leonard Garcia. And that's definitely a fight that we would love to see at this point with this whole Wink versus Cerrone thing going on. So that's just something that to keep your eye on. I wouldn't be surprised. But not only is Leonard Garcia signed with bare knuckle, he's opening up on this Jackson Wink Cerrone Cow issue, as we've heard from Cerrone, we've heard from Winklejohn, we heard from Sanchez, who defended Winklejohn. So now it's only right to hear a side from the other side, from Team Cowboy. This is somebody else that's seen this shit going down. So you want a little more into what's going on? He said, I watched it all happen. I watched it all unfold. I actually got to Jackson Wink first and brought Cowboy in, and then he just never left. It worked that way, and I played out my career. It ran its course, and then Cowboy really started blowing up. During the time of him blowing up, the gym really started changing. It started becoming a little more money-driven. A couple things were changing. There were kind of alliances being made behind closed doors. Some of the real tight-knit people would kind of have meetings. You see longtime members leave. Just a bunch of different things. You could kind of see it happening. And Cowboy said something about, you know, Winklejohn told him, yeah, we had a meeting, man, and everybody agreed. And Cowboy asked everybody, like, what the fuck meeting are y'all talking about? No one told Cowboy, yeah, we had a meeting and we all agreed. You know, probably not wanting to say that shit to Cowboy's face. But like he said, you know, there was tight-knit groups being formed, and they would have meetings. So that kind of lets you know they might have had a meeting behind Cowboy's back and made some decisions, and no one wanted to be the man and say that shit to Cowboy. And eventually the shit came to a head, but that kind of gives credence to that. So eventually it was going to become more of, I'll be saying, more of Mike Winklejohn's kind of setup, the way he wanted to run things, understandably. He's the one who paid the money to have it that way, and at the end of the day, you can't argue with the owner. It's kind of one of those things. Either you fall in or you fall out. Cowboy decided that he loved Greg Jackson. He always wanted to stay with Greg. He never wanted to go anywhere. So he was like, I'm just going to kind of stick around. I'm going to be here. I'm going to use Greg to come over to the house and help me get ready for my fights. And he was still coming to Jackson's and using the guys as training partners when he needed them. So I kind of understand their take. I kind of understand the coach's take. I understand what they did. And to me, it makes sense what Mike Winklejohn did. He chose Mike Perry over Cowboy because Mike Perry uses him and Cowboy doesn't. And it's his gym. That makes sense to me. That happened great. It worked out that way. And so, there is two sides to the story. I do see where Winklejohn's coming from. You know, with the fact that what Diego said, they have $40,000 in overhead, and he's getting paid for Perry. But the problem is the longevity of alienating, you know, Cowboy, who's been there for a lot longer time than Mike Perry. Like, I get it, Perry's gonna pay you, but if you're not going in fucking debt next week, Mike, just how about you and Mike Perry go to another motherfucking gym to train just for this time? I get it, it's your gym, but just for you would think the morale of your gym. Like, now fighters can't really trust you because you're gonna put money over them if it comes to it. You've shown that you're money over loyalty. BMF Ranch is built on loyalty over fucking money. You know what I'm saying? Loyalty over everything. So it's kind of like the opposite now. Jackson Wink wants the money. BMF wants the loyalty. And if you're at Jackson Wink, you can't expect them to really be loyal to you. Even fucking Diego Sanchez. You know what I'm saying? If your opponent wants to come train at Jackson Wink and they're going to pay more money than you got to watch out. What are you going to do whenever your opponent pays more money and now Jackson wants to pay that $40,000 over? Sorry, Diego. You got to go, man. He's paying me more. It's a business. Like, you remember what happened with Cowboy? Yeah, sorry. Your days are kind of over here. What happens then? You know, so that's why it's not really good to ever choose money over loyalty. You know what I'm saying? And in this situation, but it is kind of understandable. But like I said, I think they could have won about, even though it's understandable, I still think they could have won a better way. But just for one camp, Mike Perry, you can come back to Jackson Wink. Just for this camp, just while you're fighting one of our guys, you only been here 2 months, dog. And just to make everything smooth over. But maybe this is something that needed to happen, you know. So that he ended up choosing Perry over Cowboy, and it doesn't look great. Like I said, I'm riding with Team Cerrone. How everything's played out, I get where they're coming from. And it's not even nothing against Mike Perry. It's a Jackson Wink thing. But yeah, Cowboy kind of got fucked over here, and he's also kind of being sabotaged in this fight because he's probably coming into this fight not only pissed off, which he doesn't do his best, but also they're training his fucking former team training partners and coaches are training him to whoop his ass. Like, yeah, Cowboy don't do this great. Cowboy's weak here. Do this to Cowboy. Like, if Mike Perry knocks out Cowboy Cerrone, it's likely going to be because Jackson fucking Wink trained him to do that. That's crazy almost. But yeah, man. So, like I said, Leonard Garcia, he's Team Cowboy. He's bare knuckle, called out Diego Sanchez. He continued. He said Cowboy didn't really spend a lot of time there, but it became an issue because Cowboy's telling Greg, well, what if I want to come into this place? At the end of the day, fighting is a really big mental battle. Within yourself, you sit in the corner, you ask yourself questions. Nobody else knows this, but you ask yourself questions when you're sitting in the corner, when they're giving you instructions, giving you water. You're thinking in your head, you're trying to listen to what they're saying. You're trying to ask how you were doing in that round. You're trying to think of everything you did to get prepared. You're trying to think of different things, so many things running through your mind. What does my opponent know? What was he confident in this area? Why did he smirk whenever I did this? And so it's a mental game, and that's definitely going in Perry's edge in this fight. So you can check out that full article with BJ Penn. Leonard Garcia just giving two sides to the story, speaking out for someone he considers a brother, Donald Cowboy Cerrone. So that's all going on. Benji said, I'd be pretty excited to see Nick or Nate and bare knuckle. That'd be good for them. I mean, they wouldn't get to use their jiu-jitsu, but they'd get to showcase their boxing for sure. The flip side is that Cowboy has snubbed Winklejohn from the start. He never paid him a dime. But that's because he wasn't paying. Like, he was paying Greg Jackson. He wasn't really snubbing Winklejohn. I'm sure whenever Winklejohn would corner him, he would pay him for his corner work. But I'm not going to pay you a monthly fee just because you and Jackson are cool. I was with Jackson before you guys merged. So you guys merged, and now what? You want me to pay you a monthly fee just because you guys merged? And Jackson's my guy. I don't even train with you that often. I'll pay you to corner me, but I'm not going to fucking pay you just because your name's on the building if I don't use your services. I've been with Jackson. Oh shit, my dude's live, said Gilded Calamity. Yes, sir. We got like one or two more things to talk about before we get out of here, but we are live. We usually go live at 7 p.m. Eastern. We've been live now for about an hour and 45 minutes, but yeah, man, every weekday, 7 p.m. Eastern as of right now. That's only going to change in the future if my shifts change. Like, I might go back to full-time MMA in the morning. Actually, we might do that sooner rather than later, but we're going to definitely try and have that set schedule so we can get some other work in, because we're not the only channel that's shadow banned. There are so many fucking people getting shadow banned on YouTube and limiting their growth and shit, so it's not just us. Now, as far as the GoFundMe shit, that could have been a troll, but yeah, man. So, I'm going to try and just make it to where it's a set time so everybody knows when we're live. We don't got to depend on the notification bells and the suggested video functions not working for us anymore. You just know the time. Be here if you want to be here every motherfucking weekday. So good to see you in the building. Shit, glad I caught you, been unplugged for a minute. I hear you, man. It's time. It's about to be a good time. A lot of fights coming. Till versus Woodley coming up. McGregor versus Khabib. Champ versus Champ fights coming up. Madison Square Garden. Holy smokes, it's a good time to be an MMA fan. Bob Jr. said, full time, can you go live on Yankovic after this and react to Black Thoughts Freestyle? I can't go live on Yankovic for another like 88 days because I was watching UFC 4 over there just for fun. You know, I wasn't going to save the replay or nothing. I was going to delete it as soon as we were done. But 4 minutes into the stream, we got pulled down. And so after you get pulled down, you got to wait 90 days. So I can't go live on any channel but this channel. But yeah, I'll what I can do is potentially do it and record it and post it on that channel. I might do that for you. Or I might just listen to it and let you know how it went, the next day. But yeah, so we got another topic. Someone says never notifies me anymore. Yeah, man, we're shadow banned like fuck. We've proved it. It's even proven. You know, our last 2 UFC fight companions, we did live test. We're for sure shadow banned. All we can hope. You know, we can't just sit here and fucking complain about it all day. All I can hope is that it eventually gets lifted, or hey, it is what it is. We're gonna just be growing way slower, but we're still gonna be in the building. You know what I'm saying? Still live and direct. But yeah, so moving on. Chael Sonnen got a little poem for John Jones. Not done. He unleashed on him on Twitter. But even after the whole, John Jones recently mentioned Chael Sonnen and said he was the worst trash talker. He talked about how Chael Sonnen, he trash talks and he loses. And, so a little bit of a shade at Chael Sonnen, maybe not even shade, just giving his opinion in an interview. But Chael Sonnen unloaded on him on Twitter, typical Chael fashion, hit him up with like 8 one-liners, some good ones. And also in typical Chael fashion, even has a poem for him. I'm not going to play it. Copyright issues. If we get any fucking strikes, we can't go live for 90 days, so we got to be super careful here, but I'll read it to you. So tell the fake reporters whatever you choose. Against me and fans, friend, you will always lose. Because wherever we go, wherever we roam, the fans will always go with me, and you will go alone. So fix the things you broke. Don't chat about me. Just watch from the sidelines as I win the Grand Prix. Chael Sonnen's taking on Fedor in the heavyweight Grand Prix. I believe their fight, I don't know exactly the date for that fight specifically, but it's going to be a fun fight. Heavyweight tournament. I picked Chael, bold prediction. I don't know why. Fedor's probably going to beat Chael. He's an underdog, I know. But hey, who knows, man? You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a fun fight. But if Chael wins that fight against Fedor, he would be in the heavyweight finals of the Grand Prix finals. Now, I actually think Fedor's going to win, even though, when it first came out, I did my bracket predictions, and first round we're 100%. I got the whole first round right, but I think my Chael Sonnen prediction is going to be wrong. It's going to be tough for him, a former middleweight, who is probably he's not on USADA right now, you know what I'm saying, guidelines. He's probably more of a light heavyweight than a heavyweight right now, or than a middleweight, and we saw what DC did going from light heavyweight to heavyweight, so I wouldn't count Chael Sonnen all the way out against Fedor, but it's going to be a tough fight against fucking Fedor. So, either way, the winner of that fight's going to be in the finals, and they're going to be taking on the winner of Mitrione versus Bader. So, we could be potentially be looking at a Fedor versus Bader finals, or Fedor versus Mitrione, a rematch, Chael versus Bader. There's a lot of possibilities, but either way, Chael Sonnen's in that joint. He's going to be fighting soon in that heavyweight Grand Prix. One more Bellator topic before we actually chat with the full-time family and get out of here. Baby Slice to fight Corey Browning in his lightweight debut at Bellator 207. I think he formerly fought at welterweight. I don't think he fought at featherweight. So he's making his lightweight debut. Baby Slice, Kimbo Ferguson Jr., Kevin Ferguson Jr. In his past 2 bouts, he competed at catch weights of 160 and 165. Okay, so a little smaller than welterweight. Now he's actually making that cut to 155 to start his journey to potentially become Bellator's lightweight champion. I mean, he's well-rounded. He's not coming in from the backyard like his father we all know and loved, coming in knocking motherfuckers silly. He's coming in actually as an MMA fighter, working on it. He's going to be more well-rounded than that. Got a submission win or 2, if I'm not mistaken. So, everybody loved Kimbo. I mean, maybe not everybody, but everyone at least knew who he was. So, as far as a fan of Kimbo myself, I've definitely always been tuned into Baby Slice's fight. So, that's some news. if you're interested. But with that being said, we've been live for about an hour and 50 minutes. We'll use this last 5 to 10 minutes to chop it up with the family before we get out of here. And then I'm going to go eat brunch because I ain't ate shit all day. But yeah, man, what's going on, family? Let's pull up the chat. Let's go over here. I think it's easier to see the chat right here. Am I wrong? Am I right? I'm right. All right. Quincy Pinola 100 on Nicco. Why not? Oh, yeah, if you just got 100, well, shit, fuck that. Put 80 on Nicco because you're still going to win a lot and throw 20 to your boy. It just BMX says pay 900 if she wins. That's what I'm saying. I mean, just bet the 80 if you win, you're coming up. Throw 20 to full times, the same difference. Fuck it. And then if you lose, it's kind of like, you know, we still, you know what I'm saying? We still got something out of it. You know what I'm saying? At least we got something out of it if you lose your money. If you just want to throw money away, you know, because you're still going to win a lot. That's all I'm saying. Listen to your boy. Ever Loves Drugs says, where can I put money down for that? What the fuck exists? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you know, if you're going to do it, you'd be better off if you're trying to win money, probably betting on whether or not the fight's going to last. You know, usually there's an over-under. Is it going to last 3 rounds, or it's usually 2.5, half the fight? So that's probably the only shit I would bet on. But putting your money on Nicco is kind of like throwing it away. You know what I'm saying? If you were going to put money on Nicco, you should have bet on Cejudo when your boy actually picked that underdog. But yeah, no, I don't. Hey, but if you win, go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Exist BMX says, I only put 20. The betting agent gave me 80 for free. 20 isn't much to win 900. Oh, hell yeah. If the betting agent gave you 80 for free, fuck it. Give him that 20 bucks. That ain't shit. Bet 20 to win 900. That's even way better than 100. So, hell yeah. Quincy Pinola thought on Sanchez versus Brooks. Sanchez is a big underdog. Sanchez, is he a fucking big underdog? Because he's got a chance to win that fight. Sanchez is what, 8-1? He's won 7 of those 8 wins, all by submission. Jared Brooks is pretty much a wrestler. When he lost to Davison Figueroa, I thought he got robbed in that fight. He was slamming him around, but wrestling. He didn't finish him. And so just being a wrestler, what are you going to do? Keep slamming this jiu-jitsu guy down? Eventually he's looking for that neck, triangle choke, arm bar, something. So if he's a big underdog in that fight, you can definitely... What? Oh, yeah, that's good value. Jared Brooks is a great wrestler, and he could win the decision and out-wrestle this guy. But Roberto Sanchez has won 7 of his 8 fights by submission. He could very well submit Jared Brooks in this fight, and at short notice. You know what I'm saying? So that's a pretty hefty favorite for a guy taking a fight on short notice, going against a talented grappler like Roberto Sanchez. So, yeah, I'll give 20 to full time if she wins. All right, that's a deal. You think Till gonna make weight? You already covered that. I think he will make weight, and if he does, it could affect his performance. And if he doesn't make weight, he's still gonna be fighting. So yeah, we covered that earlier in the show. Definitely, that was some of the, we definitely talked about Till and this whole weight issue. So, and you can also replay it. You know, if you came in late, replay the show. We talked about a whole lot today. So yeah, man. But actually, how we're gonna close the show today? I'm gonna scroll up, see if there's any more topics you guys want to talk about in the chat. But we're going to close the show today with that Darren Till versus Tyron Woodley over at UFC Yankovic. If you ain't subscribed yet, do me a favor. And I think that channel might already be shadow banned too. You know why? I've got, you know, other accounts like Full-Time MMA 2, the UFC Yankovic, and I've got another one that I made, like Full-Time MMA, like Entertainment. So I subscribed. I was at 799 subscribers, and I subscribed, and it did not count. And I checked it the next day, like, maybe it's lagging, you know, maybe it's just not registered. I went back, still $7.99. I'm like, you motherfuckers didn't register this subscription. So I got on my girl's YouTube account and subscribed, and it actually went up to 800. So I was like, so I had to subscribe twice for it to actually count as one subscription. So, you know, that's some more fuckery going on. But hey, if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to UFC Yankovic. Goal is to get it to 1,000 subscribers. It's going to be a motherfucking party that day. I don't even know what we're going to do, but it's going to be a party because it's going to, if I can get a second channel to 1,000 subscribers, it would help out a lot. Huge underdog plus Stamen on the same card, and they're teammates. Yeah, Stamen, he's got a tough fight against Aljamain. He's a little bit of an underdog as well. That's a tough fight, though. Darren, I'm in the middle. Wait, too. Yeah, but good show Full-Time says remove livers. Appreciate it, brother. Tyler Robbery says, we love you Full-Time. Who you got winning? Conor or Khabib, man? I'm going with Khabib right now. I'm giving the edge to Khabib. I mean, it's hard. It's hard. I think I can change my mind. I haven't made an official prediction. There's definitely openings for Conor McGregor to sleep Khabib. Conor McGregor's working on his jiu-jitsu. Conor McGregor, every time you count him out, he wins. So I really think Conor can win this fight. But I've just been, given the edge to Khabib. Unless he gets knocked out, I think he wins the fight. So Conor for sure can win. It's close. It's hard for me to pick Khabib. But I just don't think Conor can beat Khabib over 25 minutes. I think he's going to have to get the finish, and so that gives Khabib actually more paths to victory, so I give him a slight edge. But anything can fucking happen, man. Gonna email you with some business ideas full time. All right, man. Appreciate it, brother. See what you got to say. Charlie Roberts says, I think Conor's going to... Don't be one of those guys that fucking hits me up. Hey, full time, what if I put $1,000 in T-shirts? Will you sell them for me, and I'll give you, like, a cut of it? And I'm like, I'm not about to fucking... go through, there's teespring.com. Like, you want me to, like, spam advertise these T-shirts that you invested in so I can make, like, $4 a shirt and you can make money off of my work? Like, and then whenever I say, sorry, I'm just not interested in that, don't fucking come at me like, motherfucker, how dare you turn down this business opportunity? You're the one that said you're broke. How dare you not sell these shirts for me? Motherfucker, because it don't make sense. Now, if you're so confident in me selling these shirts, if you want to give me a down payment, we can motherfucking talk. But if you ain't confident in it, don't expect me to just do all the work for you, because you got $1,000 you want to try and flip off of my motherfucking back. And then go in and get pissed off and all this shit. I mean, when I turn you down, if it just don't make that sense. Because that did happen. And motherfucker came back, oh, by the way, I found another channel, and we sold all of the shirts in one day. Oh, yeah, I'm sure you fucking did. Well, it wouldn't have worked over here, because when we went to Teespring, we sold like motherfucking 5 shirts, dog. We didn't sell no 1,000, and we had it up for like 20 days. So, merch ain't popping like that, homie. So, that's all I'm saying. If you have some $5 tees or something, then I'll buy one so I can help this channel. I love your channel, man. You're inspiring me full time. I fucks with you heavy, big bro. Yeah, I ain't got no $5 tees. You know what I'm saying? Even on Teespring, the minimum is like $12.99, and that's how much they charge. So you got to put how much you want off that. So for me to make $5 off of a T-shirt, I'd have to sell it for $17 and shit like that, So, but yeah, $5 tees, shit. That sounds like a hell of a deal. But yeah, man. So. You need a full-time hat. Hey, I need a full-time all that shit. Once eventually, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon, maybe 5-10 years from now, we'll come across an investor or a sponsor or something where we can invest in shit like that to sell. But for right now, that's all just, talks for the future. We got a lot of potential. I love the channel no matter what, brother. Hell yeah. So thank you guys for being with me. 5 shirts. So the one I bought is limited edition. Sick. Yeah, I can bring it back. I can bring back the designs, but yeah, you can only launch a campaign for 21 days. No matter what the design is, no matter what, you can redo it 21 days later and make a new campaign. But yeah, so right now probably everything is up. I have to make a new design or re-upload a design. But yeah, so that's the Teespring thing. That's how that works. But yeah, man. So thank y'all for coming through the show today. We're gonna end the show. Make sure you subscribe to UFC Yankovic if you haven't. I mean, got a lot of songs over there, classic shit we did all the way in the past, and even shit for the fight coming up this weekend. Darren Till versus Tyron Woodley. That being said, thank y'all for coming through. Hit thumbs up if you haven't yet. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out.
Darren Till's a bit fat, he can't make weight, and he's probably fucking racist, so I have to cave his face in. I'ma beat this motherfucker, he shouldn't even be in front of me. Got pushed up to the top, he want my spot, so now he's gonna meet a beast. I'm the chosen one, I hit like a loaded gun. That right when I throw you done, 1 strike and he's on the run, and I'm coming for you. Yeah, I'm coming for you, booger eating motherfucker. You could put roids in your boogers, but you still couldn't beat me, cause I'm one of the greatest and you can't see me like Stevie. And yeah, I'm coming for greatness. If they want try me, come test me. And that's for Nick and Nate Diaz, Kobe, you're even GSP, because I'm ready. And don't come in heavy, little bitch. I don't really want no friends. I don't really want no friends, no. I said I don't want no friends. I said, I don't want no fucking friends. Tyron, why you crying? Long as I make weight, we're finding. We will fight this weekend, we will find if I'm as weak as you say. But I do say if I win, then no excuses. No 30% bullshit like your boy Kamaru Usman. You're the champ right now, but we both know that I'm the future. Gorilla Smash 2018, Booger Bash 2018 is the movement. UFC 228, let's